don't overuse the football and exert too much energy. Just go long kicks, middle of the ground, and give your small players first opportunity.
Round 10 underway. Richmond still searching for their first win in 2010. Martin the first to it. But standing in the way for him, and with that slippery ball, is Travis Boak. Superb last week. 3 goals.
Josh Carr back into the team. He loved these conditions.
Oh, he'll just be in there and at him and just annoying the Tigers.
He will.
There's Martin again, but he's trying to get free. He did get hands to the ball and got it out wide. Taken there by White, throwing it forward. There's a loose man back for Port Adelaide. Had to work hard, and that was Stewart. Robin Nahas didn't have the footy. And there's the first free kick of the afternoon. The ball's still pretty good. He should be able to bang this through.
Well, this is the time you want to have a set shot, when the ball is hard. Now, we talk about percentages. I'm not sure what Riewoldt's trying to do there, but that's not exactly what we talked about pre-game, about playing the
surely that was a set play.
Well, as it's turned out, Bill Nahas needs to kick this goal because we talk about a fast start. Port Adelaide, we mentioned last week they were poor early in the quarters. Nahas
the footy's gone.
Oh, flat footy.
They got a flat footy. A couple of times we've seen that this year.
How does that happen? They've got the whole pre-game to get them all ready to go. We're into the... What are we? How many minutes? 1 minute into the game, and we've had to change the footy.
Well, if that keeps up, we're going to need 120 Sharons.
Gee whiz. But this is a massive kick. I know it's only early in the game, but every goal you get today is going to be... They're going to be at a premium, the goals. That is flat. Someone kicked the guts out of it.
That was a set play from Riewoldt. He stood on it. But now Robin Nahas has a brand new footy to get the first score of the afternoon. 35 metres out, conditions are tough.
That's what we talk about. That's why how hard you know it's going to be to kick a goal today. But when you have a set shot from 30 metres, it barely makes a distance. And it's slewed straight off the side, unfortunately. Look at that kick in. That's not much better.
No, not a big crowd in this afternoon, as you'd expect, given what's taken place in Adelaide in the last hour. If you're driving down to Amy Stadium, you would have just turned around.
Gee.
But at the moment, not too bad. We've got a boundary throw in. There's the big throw in over the top. Again, it was Martin.
Long time since we've seen those sort of conditions, boys.
Here's Martin again. He started well, kicking inside the forward 50. Riewoldt going back for him. Ball spills past Graham. Again, White tapping it forward, and it's picked up by Tuck. He threw it on the boot. He gets it to the top of the square. Carlisle gets rid of Riewoldt now. It just stops in a puddle. And Carlisle is forced to kick, and it lands in and then rolls out.
Well, when it gets like that in any inside 50, there's a good tap on there by the Richmond player. But knock-on, surge on, just find space, because you're going to get weight of numbers over the ball, and he's going to get many ball up. So smart footy, just get it on as quick as you can.
Punch over the top, again Martin, and just trying to get it towards goal, tumbles it forward. Nason is there, but, well, almost reading it best was Stewart, and he's forced to rush it through. So 2 behinds to Richmond, their first 2 scores.
Because Brett Delidio has been a terrific player for the Richmond Footy Club this year, running off half-back. Kane Corns is actually trying to tag him, and then Brett Delidio is just running with Hitchcock at the moment, so it's a little bit of an interesting matchup to watch.
Well, it's good. It means they're outnumbering them at the moment. Port Adelaide, Richmond have got the extra player. They can probably use up the ground a bit more, with Corns playing that defensive role and basically in the back pocket.
Now,
and that leaves Dustin Martin free at the moment, so which is a good thing for Richmond.
Yeah, I think they'll change that pretty quickly, Smithy. I think I'd leave Delidio deep on Hitchcock if I was Port Adelaide, and try and use Corns elsewhere.
Now it spills over the back. Here's the first opportunity for the afternoon for Port Adelaide. Now Boat probably had time to stop and pick it up, but he decides to go off the ground. Going back first for the Tigers, Newman.
Did well.
Smart kick.
Yeah, kept it down low.
Didn't panic under the conditions, just got the ball, kept it simple, turned around, and that's his second kick there. And he's found 30 or 40 metres, and he was covered by about 4 or 5 Port players closing down on him. You see the 3 Port players just turn, smart little kick, then followed up his good work. So that's the type of smart player we're talking about that is warranted in these conditions.
See a lot of that kicking towards the boundary this afternoon, playing percentages. Graham the knot. Standing off the contest.
Good pace.
Was Matty White, and now he uses that pace to kick out wide in front of Nahas. Griffiths is out there lurking to come and help out. Nash over the top.
Did that well.
Griffiths got it forward. Now Corns is going to pressure Nahas, but he's got some pace off the outside of the right boot to the top of the square. Beautiful kick and good positioning by Riewoldt there.
Well, he kept his eyes on the ball there, Riewoldt. Alipati Carlisle, he's a strong player by his size.
And no messing about from Riewoldt. First goal of the day.
Wow, that was a terrific build-up. White again involved. Got it out in front of Nahas. Well done, young Griffiths, I should say. And the kick from the outside of the foot. We're seeing that more and more. Well, all we saw was the end there, but what he'd done is he'd actually worked from behind Carlisle, took front position, Riewoldt, just had superior judgment, and I like the smart move. Get on your bike, let's get it on quickly. We saw the set shot from Nahas. It's not going to be easy to kick goals today, so a good start by the Tigers.
Talked about his game last week. Six goals on a losing side previously, and now he's 26 for the season, Jack Riewoldt.
And we saw before the #1 tackler inside 50 in the AFL, so it's fantastic, alongside the likes of Davenport and Leon Davis, those quick players. But he's a big bloke leading the way.
He's the only player out there today for the Tigers with double-score goal kicker. Everyone else is on singles.
I'll tell you what, the ball's been played in their half so far, so he's going to get some opportunities.
And they are kicking against the breeze, Richmond. Tambling was at the bottom, but picked up beautifully by Roden. Got away from Edwards, now kicks out wide, but it's all Richmond here. First to it, King. Gets some good communication from his captain in Newman.
Over the back here.
Told him he had time. Gee, Griffiths almost.
Well, he got a free there.
And we're starting to see a little bit of the conditions there. A little bit of mud just there. That's pretty rare here for this wonderful surface at Amy.
Look at this mark here, whether he was
definitely
against stuff.
Yeah, well, Chad Corns had no eyes on the football there, just direct on the opponent.
Again, the clearing kick only as far as a Richmond player. Kick from Newman over the top. Carr sliding in. Nason caught. Roden has it. Quick hands to Corns. Throws it on the boot. Tigers again in best position. This time more.
Well,
it's dangerous, this.
This is a risky kick.
Oh, that's dry weather footy from Moore, but Chaplin couldn't take it. Webley throws it on the boot. Again, it stops in the puddle.
Free kick to Casey, surely.
Didn't get it. Trengo. Picked up by Thomas. Got rid of one tackler. Corns. Back to Thomas. Not 15. You've got a feel for the players. Very hard to keep their feet and very hard to be really sure over the ball. Well done, Cassisi. Got it forward. Ebert went for the half volley. Missed it. Handball back to Newman, who's been busy early. He's under pressure. He heads for the boundary. It gets through a river of water and finds it.
I reckon, yeah, I was going to say, the crowd wanted the deliberate, which on a dry day you'd probably be pinged for that, but I think in these conditions, with balls going all over the place, I don't think there's any issue with that sort of kick from Chris Newman. 5-1 inside 50 count. Dustin Martin's already had 3 clearances, so he's been a very influential player really in this match.
Here's Newman. Oh, Farmer went in mid-air with the boot. Cassisi can't get past the tackle. Plenty of Richmond players around the ball. That's Tamlin getting back. Newman again. Another one of those short kicks from him. Out in front of Cousins. Started on the bench. Did well, okay. Got hands to ball. Gave it over to Collins. And again, it stopped short. Stewart's going to use a bit of this breeze towards the forward 50. Oh, good mark. Good position by David Astbury.
Well, they're just positioning themselves very well for Richmond. They're just outnumbering their direct opponent, Port, at a lot of the contests, and they're just spreading. When the ball comes in, they're just spreading well, and they got numbers for support.
Gee, that ball held up there. Next chance we met. I might get down to Smithy. I reckon this breeze is picked up going Port Adelaide's end, going their way. So it's a nice start from the Tigers.
Thomas trying to soccer it back in with a cross. Again, Newman, he's just got those little chinky kicks at the moment, but he's not really finding a target. Cassisi's kicked forward. Chance of Broadbent just came off the bench a second ago. His first touch of the afternoon is out on the full.
Because just on the wind, it's very blustery, so it is definitely going down Port Adelaide's end, but it's getting stronger in certain patches and then dying down a little bit. But Richmond are just outplaying them at the moment.
8-point margin to the Tigers in what will be a low-scoring day. Corns back on it. Carlisle. Here's a chance now. West off, but the ball just carries on the breeze and gets out of bounds.
Well, it's a good result. I mean, they get an opportunity now to get their set up right here and try and create an opportunity.
Oh, look at those flags going, Jack.
Yep.
Gee, and that's going Port Adelaide's way, who are yet to score, and officially we've played nearly 10 minutes. So it's a good start, the Tigers. Port Adelaide need to get a bit happening from the stoppages here.
It could have been a free kick, but not paid to Tommy Logan.
He's paid it. You're going to see a lot of that with these conditions. The umpire's going to try and keep the ball alive.
Salopek winning it. Not sure what to do. Goes by hand out wide, and it's Stewart. That's Paul Stewart. Both Stewarts playing today. And right to the square, an easy one for Moore to spoil over the line.
Well, we watched the under-18 champs beforehand, and before the rain came this morning, or just on this afternoon, South Australia under-18s kicked 7 goals into the breeze.
8.
So it was an 8 into the breeze.
Yeah.
So, but that problem then, we had a massive downpour, and we can see the result, which is what's on the ground. Puddles.
And there's a lot of that going, kicking off the ground. Corn's got a fault. He took on 2 tacklers. Interesting.
Well, you wouldn't think there'll be a lot of that sort of...
Well, the conditions, I mean, the umpire's going to give various benefit of doubt, but if you're still going to take the player on that occasion, well, the rule is you had prior opportunity and didn't get rid of it correctly.
Sliding back in again was Collins. Now over the top, King. He got up out of that contest. Threw it on the boot, didn't go far. Now it spills for Josh Carr. Through more puddles. Have a look at the surface water that they're playing with. The Stewart again, and the wind got hold of that one.
It's a game, you talk about a game of inches, that actually could be the right terminology today.
Yeah, we've had a couple of inches of rain.
You've seen blokes try to kick the ball just 20 metres and it's going 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hoof it as long as you can when you're under pressure today. Just bang it on long. Tactics nearly go out the window. It's about getting your nose over the ball. It's about doing the basics better than the opposition and probably hunting it a little bit harder. And at the moment, the Tigers are first of the contest.
High contact.
Kicking a barrel, Jack.
Oh, you got to go.
And a lot of players around the ball. Tuck.
Gee, they're just outnumbering them. Their attitude is fantastic here, Richmond, at the minute.
Oh, look at the take. And look at the player loose.
Oh, I didn't see him. Didn't
spot.
see him.
Now, he had the man on, but he's still in play. Nahas just trying to tap it back to Riewoldt. He's got his confidence up. He'll try anything at the moment. And that's gone out of bounds on the full across the front.
It's just an area game. It lets him down a little bit. He had a couple of options. Look, no problem in going for the goal in these conditions, but he probably could have upped around a little bit more. They've got to make that count because now Port Adelaide have got a free kick. Had to make a scoring opportunity for the Tigers.
Off the ground by Carr. Oh, it took his time. Astbury.
He came off the interchange.
Yeah, didn't see him.
And he say, well, where's my free kick? He's not happy with the umpire. Let's have a look at this. This is where they made the blue. There's a player there. As Matty White had got to the goal square, he just did not use the vision there, unfortunately. Would have been a certain goal to the Tigers.
Walked him in the ruck. Richmond.
Liam, we look at the stats. When's the last time you've seen a game of football been going for over 13 minutes and a side hasn't taken a mark?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time, and that's Port Adelaide we talk about. The Tigers have managed to grab 5 marks.
But it's such as the conditions.
Oh, he did that well.
White.
Got a shot here.
He's from inside 50. Heads to the top of the square. In front went Griffiths. Oh, gee.
Just
Chad
okay.
Corns.
Well done, Richard Tambling. He's just set the example for his teammates. I think it was Richard Tambling. A couple of Richmond players just put their head over the ball. They knew that he was coming through, Chad Corns.
20 metres out from the Richmond goal. Tuck did well to get it out the back.
did
really well. Robert Nahas finishes off his work. Wonderful goal assist from Tuck.
Wow, that was terrific play. That's the second bit of play we've seen Tuck do at a stoppage where his big body was so strong. And there's Nahas. That's the finish, but the build-up to that passage of play, look at this. Yeah. Just forced it forward. And that's, as I say, Jack, that's just a big body. That's a strength, physical strength for Shane Tuck.
Well, 14 points to 0 and kicking into the wind. That is a good start for Richmond. They're on here.
Last time these two sides met at Amy. Robin Nahas was brilliant, kicked 5 goals in that very close game. He's got one, and he's set the other up so far.
Yeah, he's been very, very important. Those little players that want to tackle and put some defensive pressure on are going to be critical today.
King was caught. Roden.
He says this bloke's been good in Martin already.
Yeah, he gets at it. Tambling. Got to beat 3.
For the Tiger fans that missed the pre-game today, we did talk to the recruiting officer, Neville Stibbar from GWS. He assures us that they have not spoken at all to Dustin Martin. Nobody at GWS, so if you're sitting at home, I wouldn't be too concerned about Dustin Martin going anywhere just at the minute.
Jay Nash caught high by Cousins, wins the free kick, spreads it out wide. There's the first mark of the afternoon to Port Adelaide. Boak playing on, kicking inside forward 50. Will this be another mark? It is. Ebert should put their first score on the board.
Good clean passage of play by Port Adelaide from the free kick as we see Ben Cousins well, accidental, but these conditions, that's what's going to happen. But two quick long kicks in the forward line to the advantage of Ebert there. Kicked it to his advantage. Took a good chest mark. Now needs to finish off. Desperately need a goal here, Port.
You know, you don't really need to worry about this normally, but you're looking for a bit of dry ground for your purchase as you're about to kick the ball for your landing foot.
14 goals, 14 for the season. Makes no mistake, Port Adelaide on the board.
Much needed goal for Port Adelaide, and that's just an indication for them. If they look at that passage of play, 2 big long kicks into their forward line, just caught Richmond with I guess a bit of presence with that ball coming in just on the back foot, because they've set up real well, pushing numbers back. The 2 quick kicks in, takes a good mark here. As you can see, it's just man on man here. No other Richmond players filling into the hole. Gives your forwards best chance on that occasion. So get it out of the space. And those little players we spoke about for Port Adelaide going to play a pivotal role today for them.
First goal for Brett Ebert, and it's an 8-point margin now.
Well, all the way back to Jay Nash's attack on the ball. He just went in that little bit harder than Ben Cousins there and won the free kick, and that set up the goal.
As the sun breaks through for the first time today.
Gee, Jacko just looked at me as if I was having to go at Ben Cousins. I wasn't. Jacko, I know he's an old teammate.
Still looking after his
But he slid in lower and harder on that occasion.
No, you're dead right about that.
Whatever you do, don't talk about Dean
Oh,
Kemp.
gee.
He's kicked it long, over the top. Corns had to stand and wait. Off the ground, it falls for Farmer. He drives it forward. Cousins. Nash with him again. Off the ground goes Surgeon, out of bounds.
Get Smithy down there on the boundary just to keep an eye on the interchanges today, because it's not like the normal interchange rotations, but they'll need to keep their players fresh.
And that's the thing, Piggers, that boys are changing boots, changing socks already, because it's very, very wet, obviously, down here. So they've got to try and keep each other fresh.
Roden and Cassisi are doing battle, but off the ground went Cotchin to force it forward for Richmond. Martin did likewise, and he kicks a point.
Well, Martin was about 5 deep from that contest running into it, and he actually got first to the football, and that's through work rate. Obviously, he's a pacey player, but I've noticed something with Richmond is that long kick going into Riewoldt, they're just turning their direct opponents, the half-forwards and the wingers, and getting to the front of the contest a lot quicker.
Astbury dived in. Ball came out. Picked up by Tucker.
Numbers
the clearance. 2-on-1. Good chance for Pollack. It looks pretty dry. It could be his first touch.
Gee, Matt Thomas had to make a better effort there.
Dean Brogan out before the game. The clearance count is 13-3 now. Tuck's had 4, Martin's had 4, and Brogan is actually out with back spasms.
Now Pollack gives it off to the run of Newman. He doesn't like it. As soon as he hits it, he gets it straight out of bounds.
Disappointing there for Chris Newman, but they are coming into the breeze here. We've said that a couple of times, but Brogan will just miss the 1 week. Got the back spasms yesterday, so he's out of the team. But so you can see already what an influence he has on this team. I mean, 13-3 at the clearances on a wet day, critical.
It's going to win you the game.
My word,
those sort of stats will win the Tigers the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Port Adelaide, they are a flirty team. Flighty team is the word I was looking for. What, flighty?
Did you say floaty?
I said flirty.
Flirty.
But flighty they are. They just don't know when you're going to catch them. And on days like this, it's all or nothing. You've got to put your head over it when it's your turn. You've got to initiate.
Well, Cassisi's there. There's no better example of that at Port Adelaide. Bit of a scuffle there, or some guys just want to come up with the footy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. There's Warren Treadray, who, well, he single-handedly won him the game in this corresponding match last year.
Yep,
I bet he feels a bit more comfortable there than being out in the middle.
Tuck again with another clearance. kicking wide, but Logan going back and marking for Port. Now, thought about the switch. Conditions don't really suit it. Takes the better percentage option in Boak. Driving it long.
Yeah,
Stewart at the back. Here's Hitchcock.
Empty forward line, though. So whoever's the quickest. Look at little Hitchcock go.
Hitchcock, yeah, back into it.
Farmer did well in the end because Hitchcock was pressuring. He gave it over to White. Measures the pass nicely. Collins can take it and go. Wider. Pollack got to it first, but here comes Corns. Now back towards Collins.
Oh, he's won the free. Should have won a free there.
Stewart paddles it forward. Kane Corns on hands and knees, fishing it out to Chaplin. Back by hand to Cassisi. Turns it around the corner, trying to get towards the 450. That's a mark. Well done, Farmer.
Where's the body Riewoldt there?
Gee, I tell you. Like he marked it. I don't reckon it's a day to be doing that.
Chaplin, that's intelligent footy, just made sure it came down to Salopek, sends it forward again, ball spilling at the back. Two Richmond defenders, first back, Newman at it. It's a half a shepherd from Moore. You've got to be careful. It didn't go over the line. They get the benefit of the doubt there. There you go.
Yeah, I know they're disappointed they didn't get a free, but you've got to shut your goal, really.
Get on with the game.
I mean, that's 2 kicks to get it 50 metres in these conditions.
That's very true.
You now all of a sudden you're kicking the ball. It's going to only get to your forward 50 if you get a loose player, because you're a 10-half back instead of deep in the back pocket.
Rain starting to come down again, as you can see, after a minute and a half of sunshine. Corns, it's Kane Corns. Here's Martin.
It's been good, Martin.
Yep. Got it off to Graham. Front. Kicked it forward. He made good position there, Edwards, but didn't take it. Cotchin's kicked to Riewoldt. He drops the mark. He spent it before he had it.
He's still done it.
He's the wrong side of the post.
That's the opportunity. I mean, you get a 50-metre out the other route, one into the ground. You get you inside 50. Work rate. They had numbers here. Just a little bit unlucky. He kept his feet. That was the most important thing. Alapati goes to ground. Just had to finish off. He's going to get opportunities. He's already had 3.
He'd be disappointed with that one because he had that mark. Here's Farmer.
It's hard to be critical of anyone for dropping a mark on a day like this when it's so wet. But he is such a good mark. That was a certain goal that they missed out on because he could have probably played on and kicked the goal. He got a lot more of the ball. They've had 70 touches to Port Adelaide's 49. Tucker's had 9 touches, as has Newman. And Josh Carr leading the way for Port Adelaide with 7.
Now, here's a spread from Surgeon. He gets the kick from Salopek, but look at the chase from Nahas. No one to kick to. Hits in hope, but gets plenty on the big bomb. And now it falls for Hitchcock. In the driving rain at Amy Stadium, Hitchcock around the corner. Into the post.
Had to be committed, had to go, because that ball was going to skid along.
How's that? That is going to hurt from McGuan.
Yeah. He had to go.
He's going to have to do a quick count here.
Well, he's in a real bit of trouble.
His leg got
He's still
against
down.
Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't look too flash. Just on the actual game itself, as we have a look at McGuan there trying to get himself up. The 2 key areas in wet conditions, clearances and contested footy. Contested footy, 40 to Richmond, 24 Port Adelaide. Clearance count 12-4 and make that 13-4 in favour of the Tigers as well.
Getting in and under was Chaplin. McGuan is limping, but he's going to have to go.
He's gone again. He's in a world of pain.
Yeah, he's taken out 2 others with him.
He is in trouble, and the ball is going to come back to him pretty quickly. Salopek, right to the danger area.
They got trainers everywhere. They're going to stop this.
Yep.
Well done, Hayden Kennedy, because now it becomes a bit of a health hazard.
Well, Moore's in trouble. McGuan's up. There are Tigers down everywhere. Here's the first incident.
His shin got caught, and he's hit it flush with his knee there.
Let's have a look at
And
this
here's
one.
the second.
Oh, Ebert in real trouble there as well. He hasn't moved, Ebert. Jeez, got his leg all twisted up underneath there.
Calling for the stretcher for Brett.
Got a very heavy knock to his head as well. Got a whiplash type scenario. And, geez, so Lukey McGuan, he's coming off the ground as well for the Tigers, limping off. You got Ebert down there in the hands of the trainers. Hasn't really moved. Here's McGuan. The contest from McGuan, Jacko, was terrific, given he was in the hands of the trainers himself. He made a contest where it looked like Eben was going to mark it, but unfortunately copped him high as well.
Yeah, he looks all right there, doesn't he?
Well, he looks all right from a head perspective, but they're going to put him on the stretcher, so doesn't look quite all there. But,
he's very groggy.
I think he's going to come off for a bit of a lie down.
Here's another look at it.
So he copped it with a shoulder, and it's just the way he landed. It was like...
No, it's that shoulder got him.
The shoulder
it's the forearm just collected him.
It's not unlike a boxer. You do a lot of boxing commentary, Matty, where you see a bloke get knocked out and they drop and their legs all stay splay.
They're all jelly.
Yeah.
There's nothing, they're already out before you hit the canvas. Yeah.
But that's the sort of game that's going to dish up today. So maybe this will stop in play whilst their forward line's already rejigged anyway without Treadray, Gray, Davenport, all these players.
Now no Ebert.
Now no Ebert. The concern will be whether they can kick enough goals this afternoon. Probably only going to need about 8 or 10 to win.
I think he put a thumbs up there, boys.
Yeah, got him with the point of the shoulder there. And you might see him back on. We saw Jordan Lewis get one of the biggest hits I can remember for a long time. Came back on the ground. Not sure it was a smart move at the time in hindsight, but you can come back from a heavy knock.
You can, but I think you've touched on the bigger issue here. Port Adelaide's forward line is just being decimated with injuries.
Well, they got together there while this break's been on, and I reckon if I was Casisi, I'd be saying, boys, forget all the tricky stuff. They're just a bit more desperate than us at the moment. We've got to get there first.
Look at the track of the... we might get footage of it, but that's how heavy the weather is. Look at the waters. They might have to do a few more laps out of there as a super stopper.
That is not the super stopper.
We get Rowan Smith just to check on the tread of that golf buggy.
Looks like a little bit of downhill skiing, Piggers.
I'll tell you what, Port Adelaide need a big 4 minutes here. They're kicking with what we reckon is a 2 or 3 goal breeze.
At least.
At least. You can hear it in the effects, Mike. You can hear how strong the wind is. They'll be wanting Brett Ebert pretty quickly, hopefully, to get him back on the ground. He looks like he's aware of about what's going on around him, which is a bonus.
So Brett Ebert to go down in the rooms, and Rowan will be in close contact with the medical staff to see how he is.
He did put the thumbs up.
He's the only goal kicker so far for Port. And now the buggy goes across the ground, Jacko.
I'm not convinced that's a smart move.
Yeah.
I think you probably nearly have gone around with that buggy, couldn't you? He's leaving his tyre tracks all over the ground. It's like a big V out there at the moment.
Look at the water coming on, mate. Look at that water.
If you're looking at this game from satellite, you'll be thinking there's crop circles out.
Oh, no.
It's got a job for him at half-time.
It's been doing burnouts on Amy Stadium.
All right, a bit of voice from the crowd here. They want a goal from Port Adelaide. We've got 4.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. We reset. Graham the big punch. And another one from Cotchin. Thomas out of the air. Hitchcock lurking.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Under pressure. Still some of the players don't understand the rules.
It's only been going 2 years. Quite entitled to do that.
Here's Brett Ebert going into the rooms.
Brett Ebert down there. It'll be interesting to see whether he gets off that straight away. But did put the thumbs up like he was okay. Big hit though, all the same.
And not far there for Edwards.
And Smithy, Luke McGuan, he limped off the ground. What's the status of Luke McGuan at the minute?
They're just actually checking out his knee, because when he slid into the goalpost, just might have wrenched his knee a little bit. They've checked the stability. He actually looks okay sitting down the boundary. He's done a couple of run-throughs, and hopefully he should be back on the minute, mate.
Broadbent couldn't take it, and Newman couldn't get free. Dangerous time here for the Richmond defence. Umpire giving it plenty of time to spill out the back. Hitchcock couldn't get boot to the ball. Pearce dragging out his team, his opponent in King. Casisi, as usual, working hard. A lot of time, and we've got a ball up.
There's Luke McGuan. Ready to come back on, you think, Jacko?
Yep.
Matty Hornsby there, the runner. Giving the message here, you can come back on, mate. We've got 3.5 minutes of this quarter to hold. Newman's had his 11th touch. He's been very good, the captain.
And again, first to it was a Tiger. Now a chance for Thomas. Cousins arrives. and forces it out.
Talk about playing the conditions. Richmond have had 57 kicks, 22 handballs. Port Adelaide 41 kicks, 16 handballs. That ratio of kick to handball will be heavily skewed in favour of kicks this afternoon. They're just trying to make some ground.
Trengove won that knock. Broadbent the clearance. And again, just a little bit of push from that wind to that side, isn't it?
So it could have been such an impressive quarter by Richmond. Tuck's had a very good first quarter.
Well, they've had a couple of really
opportunities.
Opportunities at Riewoldt. You know, a 2-3 goal lead is worth 6 or 7 in the normal situation.
The one by Nahas in the first minute.
Yep.
It was a big miss.
Cotchin kicked it forward. So too did Tambling, but pulls up in the breeze and then pulls up in a puddle. Logan trying to get it back towards Carlisle.
They got numbers here.
Forced it forward.
They forced it forward to Cousins. He has a runner in Riewoldt.
Oh.
Now he's got to try and find a target. He uses the left boot to go across the ground.
Trying to be too unselfish.
Here's the young man in Griffiths. First game, that's going to be a hard one for Farmer. He is just wrapped up quickly there by Salter. Now to Chaplin in 2 minds.
Good defensive work there by Richmond. Just corralled Chaplin into the corner, and now they've got a chance to get the ball out of here.
Martin was there, came Corns, throwing it on the boot. It's touched.
Gee, that's a good take.
That's a very good take.
That was a good take.
And beautiful effort to get it further afield to Griffiths. Good play by the Tigers. Cousins stands and delivers. Kicks it forward. Tamlin couldn't take it. Collins to help out. Surgeon lays the tackle. Richmond still pressing. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Edwards can't get free. Tamlin might win a free kick in and under.
This is a Riewoldt one just from a moment ago.
They're on here.
Chance for Riewoldt. Off the ground. Carlisle was there. Corns. That's Kane Corns getting the 1-2 from Thomas. Now, can he find a target? He can. That's Josh Carr.
Well, they had a couple of opportunities there, Richmond. They'll be probably ruining at quarter time when they look at the highlights. They should have probably got a goal out of that.
Carr's kick wasn't a good one.
There's another opportunity.
Driven forward by Collins, and it goes out of bounds.
The message has got to go out to Jake that he's trying to soccer the ball off a few times or be cute with it. Just pick it up, and because he puts himself in a position, he may win himself a free kick, holds the ball in. He's a clever player, moves very well laterally, so use those attributes in these conditions.
Tamlin came through.
Free kick.
For a free kick.
He's played it, but that's the thing. He put himself in a position. We'd like to see the replay now when he comes through. I think this is a faintest touch. No, there's nothing in that.
Terrible free kick, I thought.
There's nothing in that.
Yeah, he's going to kick in probably one of the soggiest parts of the ground, that corridor in front of the goal.
All his teammates have wiped the ball for him now, Liam. So
Tambling to make the margin 13 points. Can he kick truly? Yes, he can. An important goal for the Tigers.
Well, Liam, I think it's an important goal psychologically. Okay, the free kick wasn't there, but once again, you look at the contest. He's in front. Numbers, work rate.
Actually, the free kick wasn't there at the start.
No,
but actually
he's thrown his head back and he's fluffed the umpire.
But watch, his arm does slip down late.
Yeah, this there you're talking.
Just there on the ground.
I think in these conditions, and
you're going to get a little bit of that. Yeah.
I totally agree, but I guess it was by the time he'd thrown his head back, we're going no free kick, but then it does slip down afterwards. Tambling the goal kicker. Richmond by 13 points. And we've got just over a minute remaining. 3 goals into the breeze is a wonderful effort by the Tigers, who are just first to the footy.
15-6 is the clearance count.
Advantage to
Over
Port.
Tigers.
Josh Carr kicking forward, waiting for it, Hitchcock. Here comes the bounce back.
Well, it was lucks of fortune there. Advantage was paid. Quick play on, and when we've seen both sides transfer the ball into their forward 50 with great pace, it's given their forwards the best opportunity. And Cameron Hitchcock kept his eye on the ball. They thought it was going to go along to the goal square, but he kept it in flight and played in front of his man, took an easy chest mark.
Clever young player, and he's kicked 10 goals so far this season. 35 metres out. He answers in the best possible way.
Well, that was an important response, Liam.
Oh, it was. The clearance is all important. You say they've been dominated by the Tigers here. Now look at this. And the advantage paid. No one knew what was going on. Carr just banged it forward. And sometimes that's your best option. Just bang it on, get it on quickly, and just hope your forwards are in front. And Hitchcock, in difficult conditions, we keep talking about them, but when you're kicking in a puddle, it's very difficult to kick goals anywhere. And from 35, normally is an easy kick. It's a bit more difficult.
It didn't look difficult, but it was a good finish from 35 metres by Hitchcock.
A critical finish.
Yep. And the runner's gone out to Mitch Farmer just to tell him he just peeled off, thought the long kick was going to go to the goal square, and he left Hitchcock all alone in that forward 30.
Tuck affects another clearance.
Well, smashing them at the stoppages.
And Stewart happy to see it over the line.
Well, considering what they're playing on the surface-wise, it hasn't really belted rain or anything during the match, but the ground is very, very heavy. You see the lights are on. It's been a pretty entertaining first quarter.
It's been a long quarter due to the stretcher.
Roden couldn't get it. Goes back a second time. Cotchin over it. Tuck, as we've seen already, just gets it and handballs forward. And maybe they can make something of nothing here. Logan to help out Port Adelaide's defence. Wet conditions, slip sliding away, but a good start by the Tigers, kicking into the breeze. They lead Port Adelaide here at quarter time by 7 points. Against Graham for the knock at the start of this second term. The Tigers have been here twice, or this is their second visit for the year. They did lead Adelaide at three-quarter time, but couldn't win the game. So far, so good for them here. But Port Adelaide with the first opportunity in this second quarter. Stewart got it from Thomas. Over the top to Boak. Hitting towards the pocket, pushing it back. Here's Maguire.
Just a bit lazy by Salter there.
It was.
Didn't really need to give that free kick away.
Especially the umpires there standing. You know he's going to pay that. It's an obvious free kick. The ball comes in the fourth.
Gee, how's that for a mark? Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, no, great
Griffiths.
marks.
That's what he can do. So a lot of these boys, as a youngster, geez, have got a nice pair of hands on him.
He's just tumbled it forward. Nahas worked out of it by Surgeon. Cassisi got up, handballed away to Logan. Chance now for Richmond, though. Edwards. Now Surgeon will win the free kick. He got in and under.
Let's have another look at this mark, boys. In these conditions, playing your first game over Chad Corns and the Ruckman, Trengove, it's not a bad first mark in AFL footy, I would have thought.
Not a bad way to start.
My word. Very impressive.
Cotchin just went without it. Moore can't get clear with the kick. Roden was feeling for a free.
Well, they've got 26 touches between two of their most experienced players, in Tuck and Newman. Tuck's had it 14 times, Newman's had it 12. Tuck's had 4 or 5 clearances as well.
There's Travis Boak getting that one forward. Now Stewart back in the side. After this is just his second game, and not the sort of conditions for a big man who's 200 centimetres.
Richmond dominating all over the ground. Every key stat you can think of. Contested possessions, they're smashing Port Adelaide. Clearances, they're smashing them. Normally gives an indication of attitude and effort. At the moment, I reckon...
That is wonderful work from Martin there, to get it to Cotchin in turn to Newman.
Martin's been fantastic all afternoon.
Westhoff, inventive. So too Webberley. No boot to ball just yet. Maybe Cotchin. Cassisi.
Martin at it again. Second effort.
There you can see Brett Ebert. Boys just come out from underneath the room. Smile on the face. Give the boys a little bit of a pat. So great news.
Yeah, boot on, glove on. So
it's all funny today.
Yeah, ready to get back.
5 clearances to Dustin Martin out of his 8 possessions.
He's tough, isn't he?
He's been very good. Here he is again.
He's got the footy and he's just going to tumble it forward. Corns came out. Chad with a two-handed punch. Salopek stepping. And the kick falls short onto the chest of Delidio. Delidio spreads wider. His target is Tambling. Played the percentage, took it on the chest. He's just going to go further down the line. He was in two minds.
Wasn't a good kick, though. He's thrown the fist to his teammates there to push down, but Richard Tambling, you had 3 on 1 there, and you picked the Port Adelaide player, so was your skiller up?
He had Jake the push-up king on his own, and just didn't see him.
Is that something you buy late at night?
Push-up king?
After 12 o'clock?
Well, he's like a machine when he's doing push-ups. He can do like 100 in one sitting.
Couldn't you do 100 in one sitting?
one stanza. He could even do 200. I'll tell you what, loving the way they're going about it here. The Tigers are all, the key players are all involved, whereas Port are getting nothing out of Daniel Pearce as an example. Just had one touch.
He's got no room whatsoever, Pearce.
No.
King's wearing him.
He's been all right on him at this stage.
Again, Richmond win the free kick. And again, they try to spread it across the ground. It's hard there for Newman. He went without it. Chad Corns back to Westhoff, off the side of the boot. Towards the wing. Hitchcock leads in the race, but he's pushed out of it.
Did well, the big fella.
Griffiths.
He's hurt himself, Hitchcock too.
He's down.
Another injury.
And the ball is not too far from him. As Jake King sends it forward, Nason has to wait, and it's an easy one for the spoil for Chapman, who wants the mark, but I think it was out of bounds before he completed the
his
mark.
shoulder.
Yeah, his left shoulder, boys, is already strapped and he's holding it. He's in a lot of pain here.
Oh, that's painful.
He's had a problem with that since the pre-season.
He's fallen on it. He's been nudged out of the way here. Bang, there it is.
Yeah,
Gone.
this is the way he's fallen.
It's popped.
Not much fun, shoulder injuries. We know that. Have a look.
And then he's got one in the back of the head for his trouble.
So another forward for Port Adelaide goes down.
Well, their whole forward line from basically their #1 forward line is no longer in existence as we know it.
Yeah,
Ebert, Hitchcock, Treadray, Gray, Davenport, Motlop.
They'll be on the phone to Clive Waterhouse shortly.
It's a blast from the past.
Hitchcock in a spot of bother.
And Schultz was left out this week as well, so I don't think there'll be a starting forward, so they're going to have to rejig.
That's good skill from Salopek, but perhaps trying a little bit too much. Carr wins the free kick. He was down low.
Oh, quite a tall forward line at the moment. Tall options, but really those conditions. No one moving at all.
And Carr's just going to send it up there and see what happens. Stewart was there. The punch came out towards Salter. Delidio caught. Broadbent back towards Cassisi.
They did well.
Clever work, and then got it back out to Stewart. Threw it on the boot, but unfortunately for him, it's out of bounds on the full.
Daniel Stewart down there. There's Matty Thomas. Yeah, rejigged that whole forward line. To try and get something happening. Pearce is playing deep in the forward line at the moment.
Floating in was Polak. Cassisi on hands and knees trying to beat 3 Tigers. And there he goes again. Dustin Martin. He is a ferocious little Tiger in that. The quick kick from Newman. Nason got lost in the air. Trengove almost took a miraculous mark. Smother affected. False comes out the back to Chapman. Again, the smother from Richmond. Polak caught. Got it to Tuck. No room there for Cousins. Towards Farmer. Went off the ground. Marking contest here. An important one.
Kept his feet.
Oh, he did beautifully well, White. That's wonderful play. He takes it and runs and he kicks it long. Now the breeze will get it over the back and it'll slide towards the goal square. Who's there first? Corns rushing it through.
Inside 50 count. It's even 16 apiece. Just when Richmond have got it in there, they've looked a lot more dangerous than Port.
Well, Webley turned around and almost marked it. Chance for Tuck again. Kane Corns right with him. No room.
120 possessions to Richmond. 82 on kicks, 38 handballs. We see Hitchcock down the rooms. Not looking to be in too much pain at the minute. He hasn't got it in a sling. He might know his shoulder that well.
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
If you've had shoulder problems in the past, it doesn't normally take a rocket.
Just want to have a look at this, boys. Matty White, just how he kept his feet in these contests, 50-50. Good strength there, and his hips didn't go to ground. That was the most important thing. Then won the contest.
Yeah,
Got good pace, hasn't he, Matthew White?
Yeah, he's got genuine pace. I mean, in the sprint at half-time of the grand final,
Where did he go?
I think he went.
Did he win?
I think he won. Yeah. Not 100% sure, but here's Cousins to the hot spot, to the danger zone.
It's a good contest here.
Here's Riewoldt off the ground.
What's he doing? Sooner or later it was going to happen.
Bring on the World Cup. Riewoldt is your striker.
Well, I've been critical of him doing this, and I was about to give him an absolute pasting.
You were indeed.
Why would you do it unless you do this?
Well, this is why.
Well, you had time to you got to lock it in there. And look, he's very, very happy. Look, 10 points to him. I give him that. But as we see, look at the body there. Takes out Alapati. So ball goes to ground. So good contest there by Richmond. That was brilliant.
I reckon if you look at
sensational.
it, there's no way he could have picked it up and got a kick away. It was exactly the right thing to do. That's a goal.
Well, I believe Cristiano Ronaldo is known as CR9.
CR9.
What about JR8?
Very good. Very good, Matty.
Fantastic finish. And it gives Richmond a 14-point lead. And a chance of Port here, though. Trengove went without it. Roden tried to get Boot to ball. Now Kane Corns got it back out to Boat. You heard the umpire, not 15, but there's numbers here for Port. Salopek underneath that pack.
I reckon that might stick, Matty. JR8, CR9.
Oh dear. But he's certainly got some talent, and he's got a couple of goals, a chance of Port. Into the pocket they go.
Oh,
Pierce is unsighted, and good courage and desperation from Farmer.
Well, that's the difference between the two sides. He's won himself a free kick here for one over the top.
No, he's saying it's a throw.
He wants one. He didn't get it.
No, okay.
You know what I liked about that? He actually left his opponent to help out his teammate.
That takes a calculated risk, takes a bit of courage, but you know what you're going to get when your side's going to do that or your teammate's going to do it, and that's why they're winning this game of football.
But switched on teams do. And you can tell from the word go here, Richmond were going to be on the job today. They got out in the ground early. Couldn't get out of here quick enough and get their hands dirty. They've won every disputed ball. They've been winning the clearances like this, and they deserve their 2-goal lead at the moment.
Nason. Chaplin out of the contest. Quick hands Logan to Chad Corns.
This is better.
And a good kick from Corns, and Westhoff dropped what he should have taken despite the conditions. It could have been a shot at goal. Thomas, he's a hard nut. And there's Jake King.
Well, boys, I just got a bit of a weather forecast coming in, and as we see, he should have taken this chest mark. He's just...
Yeah, you can see Thomas in the background saying, you're clear, you've got it, it's yours.
Misjudged it.
Yeah.
Tried to take it at his knees in the end instead of hugging it into his chest.
Not 15, not happy Broadbent. Thomas gives it to Westhoff. Can he make amends with the kick? He can't.
Bloke's absolutely giving it to him there, but for the handball. But it's got very dark out there, boys. Richmond get the next goal. We're expecting a massive downpour in the next 15 minutes, and if they get the next goal, I could say that's pretty much, it's going to be hard for Port Adelaide to get back into it.
I'd just like to know how you've got access to the Bureau of Meteorology.
Tell you that half-time.
He is a keen fisherman, Clint.
He's just stuck his finger out the window.
That's how to read the
It's got very dark, boys. Look over to the north side there, very black clouds.
Okay, here's a chance for Edwards.
Needs to be clean. He just...
Oh, it's Cassisi, that's how you do it. Logan
Good
slipped out of his hand, Boak.
They're just outnumbering him at the contest here, Richmond. Their work rate is just far superior than Port's.
And Stewart wants the boundary, and he is successful.
There's a want about him. There certainly is.
4-5 to 2-4, 13-point margin with 12 minutes to go in this second term. If you've just joined us, an incredible amount of rain in the hour prior to the game.
23-12, the clearance count in favour of the Tigers. If you're just joining us for the first time, Brogan out of the side for Port Adelaide. And we think that's going to have a massive impact on this game. Richmond all over them at the stoppages at the minute.
Pierce gets that kick away, but not his best, and that's out on the full.
One play they need a big lift to Port Adelaide. They need a couple. Daniel Pierce only the 3 possessions, but David Roden, he's only had the 4 possessions. These conditions would suit him, but we'll go down to Rowan Smith in a minute.
Rowan, we just saw Ebert they're having a good chat to Ebert.
Yeah, very long chat, Matty. They're just trying to make a decision whether he's going to go back out in the ground. He's done a few warm-ups, actually looks quite good. He's trying to convince them, boys, don't worry about that. He wants to get back out there.
Doctor's just given a thumbs up to the runner, so I think you're going to see that he's...
Well, he's running straight past Rowan Smith now. What do you think, Smithy?
He looks all right. Biggers, as I said to him, he just spoke to the doctors and he goes, I feel okay, my head's okay, looks fine. They wanted to get him to try and change direction a few times just so he can, his head doesn't wobble, I suppose, Pickers.
Another terrific medical report from the most famous Dr. Smith since Lost in Space.
Well, you know what it's like, concussion, a little bit of brain wobble.
I wish our cameras could just put themselves onto you next to Brett Ebert there and see whether you've got a bit of a wobble going.
Still, Port Adelaide can't get clear in these contests. King threw it on the boot. First back, though, clean pick up by Salopek. That skill to Pearce, starting to get into the game, which is important. But again, his kick dropping short. Delidio on the way.
He's been okay too.
Very good.
They got Corns onto him in that first quarter. They finally got it happening. But
here is the rain that Jacko was talking about. And here are the Tigers.
The goal.
And here's his former teammate and Cousins kicking it behind.
He's working his way into the game, Cousins. Just 7 touches.
Done some good things, but he's done some good things. He's used his football smarts, knowing where to get in the right positions, and he's got good clean possession and good inside 50s. Expect him to get better as the game goes on.
Kick, fall short. A chance for Cotchin, but it'll take a big kick from here.
Well, on a dry day, he eats this.
Yep.
The kick-ins, we've seen 2 or 3 kick-ins now where they just haven't been able to get the purchase on the ball. Even back onto the ground for Port Adelaide, which is the bonus.
That's great.
Their forward line really struggling at the moment. This kick is a critical kick.
He hasn't kicked a goal in 2010. 40 metres out. He sets it on its way. And it's a behind.
The camera had a little bit of work on it.
A little bit of weather.
Yeah, a little bit of weather on it. It's been out there facing the breeze all afternoon. Now, there's kick-ins. You sort of set your zone a bit closer than you would normally.
Yep,
because you know the ball's not going to travel as far.
And again, it drops short. Big Griffiths in the way. Couldn't take it. Tambling went without it. Well, Martin's taking him on.
Jeez,
He's in trouble.
Holding the ball.
It's the first time we've seen anyone really get pinged for that today, but he did genuinely take them on.
Gee, they use hands to Pearce. Put him under pressure. Boak will go. He's got it. He's such an important player in this team.
Hit the space here.
He heads in the Corns direction, who let a path through for Stewart, but he didn't take it.
Well, Corns did the right thing. He just needed his teammate to hold the mark.
Westhoff, not his sort of conditions. Newman. Cotchin will get there first.
He's pick up, though.
He can use hands, and he's got Cousins, and he's got pace.
Get it back here.
He can actually kick a goal here, Cousins.
If he gives it to Cotchin, that's where I'd be going.
He thought about it, decided to just tumble it forward onto the chest of Riewoldt, and JR8 is in the way.
Well, Ben Cousins, he's going to relish in these conditions because he's positioned himself. He's a smart runner, he's a hard runner, but as he's getting older as a player, conditions like these, he's going to get in the right position, and that time through the middle of the ground, carried the ball, didn't panic, had a bounce while he placed it on the ground, then kicked it. A bit of a mongrel kick straight to Jack Riewoldt.
Riewoldt for his 3rd goal before half-time, and yes!
Well, fantastic build-up all the way back to between the wing and the back flank when Trent Cotchin got involved. And we have a look at, it's just some real class players. See how low to the ground he gets? He didn't need to scoop it up. He just bent from the knees, which the good players can do.
Looked around him, Ben Cousins here, saw the oncoming, then looked up. Bit of a mongrel kick, look, used the flat punt of the ball.
Yeah, but you know the good thing about the smart forwards that know how to read the play, they get in front. And those wobbly kicks, it's amazing how many times they just fall in their arms.
Riewoldt continues to shine for the Tigers. Now with 28 for the season, he's got 3 so far. Port Adelaide only have 2. He's in front of Port. Graham, it was Pearce with the hack out of mid-air. Chad Corns has gone forward now. So Ebert back out there, Corns and Stewart. Broadbent and Roden is the Port Adelaide forward line.
Let's not forget that these blokes were in Darwin last Saturday night playing in 34 degrees, 70% humidity. Always a concern coming into this game. Their record post-Darwin is not great.
It was 0-3.
Yeah, in fact, it's
0-4.
Yeah. In fact, it's awful. So that's why I felt coming into this game, if Richmond brought a real competitive attitude, they were going to be difficult to beat. 21 points in these conditions is a very, very nice lead.
And Richmond would be banking on the fact that now that we're in this position, they're not going to probably back Port have that comeback like they did last week in those conditions, given how poor it is here today.
White won the contest. On to Collins. Here's the danger man in Riewoldt. Chaplin's gone to him.
Did well there, Chaplin.
smacking in, aren't they? This is good, both teams.
Yeah, good contest.
We saw a very frustrated coach at quarter time, going at his players. Doesn't matter whether you're playing a team that hasn't won a game. In these conditions, as I say, you bring a competitive spirit to the table, you've got half a chance. And the Tigers would really fancy themselves from here. And Port Adelaide need to do something to get the ball into their forward line with some sort of consistency. I just not seeing them doing it at the moment. They can't win a contested footy.
Ricocheted ball, a couple of kicks off the ground by Richmond, giving them a chance.
Oh, it's a free kick.
Thrown out of it was Nahas. It is a free kick, Lee.
I will say one thing that I've noticed between the two forward lines, Richmond players are playing in front. That's a basic that you learn at under 10s. Play in front at all times, but in conditions like this, the ball's going to drop. Whereas I've noticed the Port Adelaide players very reactive and not playing in front as much as what the Richmond guys are. Jacob Surgeon, well, he's asking the question there.
Gee, I'll tell you what, he's lucky. Sometimes when you gesture like that, the umpire will ping you straight back for 50. This is not a day to be giving away a 50-metre penalty in the 50 line, in the forward line.
Rain coming down again. Tough kick for Nahas. He's got a goal in the first quarter. It's not even going to make it. But the lead is out to 21 points. 22, I should say.
So they're trying to flood the one side of the ground here, Port. They've had no luck bringing it out this side. Let's go to the defensive side of the ground, which is the other side of it. Kicking it out here is where you want to attack from, the commentary side of the ground. That's the defensive side. That's where they should be kicking all their kick-ins.
Logan couldn't quite take it. Thomas got it from Cassisi. First to it after that was Tuck, and a little bit too fierce for Cotchin.
I've been surprised, actually, with the way they have kicked it into the commentary side of the ground, because that's exactly what Damien Hardwick could be happy with.
Yep.
He'd be saying to his players, let's hit it to that side of the ground. Where the ball's out here, it's a long way home with that wind the way it is at the moment. Even though it is favouring Richmond's end, certainly blowing to that pocket.
Chance again for Cousins. Well, he completely misread that. Port Adelaide free. It's going to Logan.
Going to go against him.
No, Kennedy's been around a long time.
Yeah, a less experienced umpire would have probably fallen into that little one.
He has been there a long time, Hayden. Yeah,
hold it up.
Holding it up, and Newman knew it was going over the line. Ben Cousins just a bit, he sort of got caught up with when he went to soccer that ball off the ground and stumbled. Williams with plenty to think about. Cotchin again clean at ground level. Got it over to Delidio. Hooked it back nicely, but standing in the way. Paul Stewart.
Become a really improved player, Paul Stewart.
Yeah, I think he's had a really good season.
He has.
Well, Richmond would be enjoying this Port kicking to a contest like that. Everyone's flat-footed. Where what they've got to try and do is kick to space and invite their runners to run and back them in to win possession of the football.
Trying to get something going here. Ebert's back in the contest. Ball comes out, but first to it, the only one back home is Farmer. Now it's smothered. It's an open forward line if Port can get it in there. Good tackle from Carr on King, rewarded.
Well, they need a spark. Where's it going to come from? Some of their senior players with tackles like that just might ignite a few of their players into a bit of form.
He's kicked that all 12 metres.
Not his best kick, Josh. Broad bent, got boot to ball, not 15. That's nice work from Edwards. He's been legged.
We know the wind's strong. Kicking Josh Carr seriously with 12 metres.
Oh, that's a poor kick from Edwards. Now a chance for Port. Can they make something of this turnover? Holding underneath it was Stewart. Couldn't take the mark. Still it bounces out towards Westhoff. McGuan, slippery ball. Went straight through Stewart. Oh, kicking in danger. Cassisi wins it. Advantage not paid. Yes, it is. It's paid.
Oh, that's not a great advantage.
Oh, it stops near the goal. Moore to clear for Richmond. Has a player out wide. It's Delidio.
What a shocking call on advantage.
And here's Cousins. Beautiful pass, Delidio.
He's trying to get it on Cousins, and he's done it well here.
They get it on again. They've got another loose player.
Riewoldt caught. The tackle from Surgeon was a beauty. But sometimes where Richmond are going well is that the players like Delidio, Cotchin, Cousins, they're clean.
There's that kick.
Look at that kick. Joshie Carr. It is a strong breeze. Well, that one, you just pay that when you feel like it. But kicking in danger. I didn't even know there was a rule called kicking in danger still. You don't see it paid hardly at all. Well, you rarely see it paid.
No, very rarely.
Well, in the conditions, yeah.
Rain still tumbling, and the breeze still favouring screen, or left of screen. 4 minutes remaining. Port need a goal.
Cotchin's become very busy. He's had 16 touches now.
Yeah, and there's some really clever ones. Here's Kane Corns out the back to Pearce. Going forward, they do now with Broadbent. He kicks towards the boundary line. Perhaps that's not the best place for Daniel Stewart to run onto it.
Bench, David Roden isn't a lot of the ball today.
Because you can just see Cameron Hitchcock at the back there. Just the word out of the Port Adelaide camp is a sprained AC joint. So he's definitely still in a fair bit of pain. He's just emerged from the rooms, but still in a fair bit of pain at the back there.
There is the back left-hand corner. So he's very surprised that we see Cameron again.
Doesn't look too comfortable.
No.
He certainly hasn't got the big arms because he's just a skinny player. He doesn't want another knock on it. So no, that'll be the end of him for the afternoon.
And it's the second time the umpires called the boundary throw-in back. Said, no, that hasn't gone in far enough.
Well, hardly the boundary umpire's fault. It's one of those shocking days where the wind's blowing a gale out there. 50 metres now.
For abuse, too.
For abuse. So this is not good here for Richmond, for Port Adelaide.
They're just losing discipline, losing a bit of their structure and momentum. Well, they haven't had any momentum, but if you're going to give it back on a plate to the opposition, they're going to take advantage here.
Get a couple of forwards up the ground a bit here, draw out the Port Adelaide defenders and hit the goal square, which would be empty.
Just gone the big one.
Yeah, you're going to hit and hope and see what happens over the back. It was always going there. And the behind.
And it's definitely been a direction from the Richmond coaching staff, boys, to flat punt it into their forward line, just trying to get it in as deep as they can, trying to get their runners to get onto the contest and kick the goal.
Well, you can see now everyone floating to the other side of the ground, nothing out this side really. They just want to defend now.
There's this heavy rain.
Not give up another goal. It's a long way to the Port Adelaide goals from where it is right now.
Jacko's had to change bait now with this rain. He knew it was coming, the big man.
It's coming. Have a look at it.
Yeah, sure what they can do here, Port Adelaide. They're generating nothing from half back. No drive from the stoppages. Look at that wind. Richmond, oh, they're sensing a victory here. They're sensing a team that they've nearly got on the ropes, if you can say it, before half-time.
Saw that flag. It's just a very strong breeze. Favouring the Tigers with 3 minutes remaining. Could be crucial. Cassisi trapped it. Not 15. Delidio standing in the way. Salopek and Martin, they dance together.
He's done that again, Martin. Look, he's won the ball.
Pocket. But in turn, it's stolen by Pearce. Anything you can do, I can do better. He releases Broadbent. In turn to Chad Corns. Port Adelaide near to mark inside forward 50. Carr, 40 metres out. Can he get home, Liam?
Oh, he's
No hope.
He's
No hope. If his last kick was any indication, he's about, he'll be getting to the top of the goal square. He's going to have to kick Smithy into the teeth of that breeze, isn't he? From that spot.
I'll tell you what, boys, Piggies, you called the Josh Carr one before. He's not even going to make the He's not going to make the distance here either.
I think he's going to think about the Tory here. Yep.
He's going to kick from 40. He's going to kick right to the square. It's not a bad hit. Stewart was there. Ebert caught, didn't have it. Port have enough numbers around it. Thomas in hope. Yeah, all the best.
Well, I'm not sure it's a day to play for free kicks. Yeah, in this situation, I mean, he had a little bit of the arm, but Brett Ebert's best bet there was to just continue with the contest.
So we've got 2 minutes 25 remaining in the first half. It's a 23-point lead to the Tigers, who are still winless for the season, and they're putting themselves in a wonderful position to change that. Cotchin didn't take it. Thomas was underneath it. Salopek trying to burrow through. Kane Corns got it out. Thomas wears one in the eye.
Got a poke in the eye.
Yeah. And
nothing worse on a wet day if someone puts their sticking finger in your eye. Nothing worse.
Well, I can think of a couple of things that are worse. Salopek in trouble. The forward line curse continues for Port Adelaide. He's in trouble with the shoulder. He signalled to the medical staff. Here's Westhoff with the footy, but Salopek, an important player.
Ebert.
In bother. Here's Ebert. Gets some warm applause for being back out on the ground. Launches it long. Chad Corns has got to turn around. He's going to get a chance. He got it out to Boak. He's a tough man to tackle, but the smother is there. Off the ground went Graham. Logan's wrapped up by Mason. It's a good tackle. And umpire comes in, and Salopek is in all sorts of bother, Rowan.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually dislocated his shoulder. Maybe they just tried to put it in there before, but he's in a world of hurt down here.
Jeez, had a lot of shoulder problems throughout his career, Stephen Salopek.
Let's have a look.
He got pushed and then he's
So
fallen
again,
on it.
it's just the falling. It's the same as Hitchcock.
Yeah. Port are pressing here. They sense that they need a goal before half-time. They've lost Hitchcock. Now they've lost Salopek.
Ebert's back on the ground, which is a bonus.
Good. Yeah.
But Salopek will be out of business now for the rest of the game and a number of weeks. You look at that. And Hitchcock, you wouldn't think would be back on at all. So, geez, pretty tough for Port from here, I'd think.
Are running out of numbers up forward.
Kept it alive here, the Tigers.
Yeah, that's Astbury throwing it on the boot.
It's a speed test.
Nahas will be second to it. Chaplin back towards Kasisi. Nahas just wants to hold it in the mud. It comes over to Nason inside the last minute of the half, and he kicks a big goal for the Tigers.
Well, come on, Jacko.
It's got to be to Nahas here, because what he's done here, he's 2-on-1. Now, he doesn't overcommit. He watches the ball, doesn't overcommit, keeps the ball in there, keeps it alive. Two big blokes go to ground. That's the reason. That's where the goal came from. Well done, Robbie Nahas, for just keeping the ball alive there, but not overcommitting the free kick. And then the work rate of the Richmond players coming back. They had 5 players coming back to that contest, just outnumbered them. Good work by Richmond.
Goal number 7 for the season for Nason. And here's Salopek in pain in the rooms.
Well, it's still dislocated. You can see that they haven't been able to get back in. And that's a very painful situation for a player.
Speaking from experience, Lee?
Yes, I have done a number of shoulders before the final replacement joint, but gee, the Tigers are pressing and they're irresistible at the minute.
Oh, gee, if they could get one more in this last 30 seconds.
That's a push in the back.
Nahas has won the 3.
That's a push in the back. Troy Chaplin not happy, but it wasn't the initial tackle, it was the second tackle.
Umpire, you're being sucked into it. There was nothing in that.
It's done by Edwards all the same.
Well, it is, but there was no difference to the one that we spoke about, Hayden Kennedy, and Hayden Kennedy didn't get sucked into it.
Well, a big turnaround there, because a goal on the siren for the Tigers could have almost been enough for the game. In these conditions, 35 points is a mammoth lead. Another free kick. This crowd is only small, but gee, it's vocal at the moment.
50. It's undisciplined Port at the minute. I mean, Chad Corns is a senior player, and he's just disputing that. There's no need to do that. Now, all you're doing is opening the door for Richmond.
Bang it on long. Kick it talk.
Okay, it's a bit in the side. Nothing you can do about it. The problem is for Chad Corns is right now.
Chance right on the side.
Just to kick it.
He could have kicked it.
He's filthy at himself too.
They kept pressing the Tigers, but plenty of voice from the crowd, because here's what's been going on now. Here's the turnaround from Edwards.
It was the initial tackle was okay. It was the second bit against Troy Chaplin.
He's trying to get up.
Now,
okay.
Edwards has come in. He's just trying to get up. Chaplin, that's okay.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
Oh, that was terrible. He's reversed it because of that little push.
That's nothing.
Ooh.
You can't fall for that.
No. And, well, it's a pretty happy Tiger camp at the moment. They have a terrific lead here at Amy Stadium at half-time at 6:09:45. Port Adelaide 2-4-16.
I reckon there'll be a real steely resolve about this mob in the second half, the Tigers.
Graham first hands on it. Cotchin, a fresh air shot. Port with the breeze. Still some rain around at half-time as well. Port need to get something going. Perhaps the first 2 goals. Slippery ball now. Spills out the back. Kelvin Moore can't take it. There's plenty around the ball, just waiting for it to bounce out off someone's boots. Tuck. Strong work in close.
He's been good today.
He's been terrific at that, which is required in these conditions. Astbury round the corner. Naha started well in the first half. Tamlin couldn't get boot to ball. Thomas over the top of him. We've got a ball up.
Well, they've got to start generating some drive from the clearances. There's their interchange bench. Two missing.
Yeah.
Hitchcock with the shoulder and Salapic, as you mentioned, Matty, with the shoulder as well. So they're out of business. Two important players too.
Good mark.
It's a terrific mark from Newman, who's
had a good
game.
Well,
he had to mark it because if the ball had gone over the back, he's directed the opponent boat. Had a paddock to run into, but good calculated risk.
Graham in a ray of sunshine.
Geez, hasn't he filled out? He was
a big unit, isn't he?
Big beanpole when he started.
And that kick holds up in the breeze, and it's an easy one for Surgeon to mark. All the Tiger players just turned around and looked. Port fans very vocal at half-time when the umpires were coming off. Not happy with what they perceived to be a rough deal in the first half. Farmer was in front.
Just get down and ask Smithy. Smithy, the Tigers all appear to have fresh jumpers on. They've gone into the rooms at half-time, maybe had a shower.
I'm not too sure about having a shower, Biggers, but definitely changed the shorts, put the nice dry jumper on, so they're all fit and healthy.
Trengove and Graham doing just a bit of push and shove there in the ruck. Trengove won the knock. Kane Corns got it towards Stewart. He's slung around and he's hard to get free. It ends up with Kane Corns. It tapped cleverly to him. His kick is short to Boak. It falls for Cassisi. He steps through some traffic. A chance here. Broadbent has Roden behind him. Good tackling, Newman and Farmer.
Gee, I reckon when you try to fend off, you're probably lucky not to have been in there. A bit of bit from the young fellas. Trengove and big Angus Graham. A bit of jumping punching.
Just being careful there. Here's Roden getting free. Not 15 metres. An up and under kick. Thomas came through, so did Ebert. Thrown to the ground by Farmer. Martin with strength. It's been his forte all day. And his kick clear. White.
No purchase on that.
No, it just stopped in a puddle. And there's White tapping it back, but Pearce just half a fumble. Boat got it clear. It's very tense at the moment. Neither side can get
there
free.
He is.
Now Roden does. He hits it low. He wants it to slide, but there's a goalkeeper there by the name of Moore.
Now, we saw a bit of a push and shove. This is what started it all.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Jingo. Now, Big Angus, if you were to connect it with that right cross, you'd be spending a little bit of Barry Hall time. A few weeks holiday.
What's that, the baseball call? Just outside.
Well, it's a reasonably impressive start by Port, though, all the same.
Well, because the important part of that is David Roden. He's had two hard-ball gets. We saw him have that shot on goal because he was just in and under. Didn't see that in him in the first half. He only had the 4 possessions, and he's already had 2 important possessions for his own confidence, more importantly for Port, to get themselves back in this game.
They are working harder.
My word, they are.
Of course, what Port will be hoping to do is get some goals on the scoreboard, get it to a very small margin, and put the doubt back onto Richmond, who've failed to win a game.
Well, you have that mental pressure. All of a sudden, they get 2 or 3 goals. It's been played since half-time in their half. It's 5 inside 50s to zip. But they haven't got a score yet, Matty. They haven't got a goal. They forced it behind through the Roden kick. But you can just see, I reckon they had their ears scrubbed off at half-time by the coach. And the problem is they're coming from a long way back. 5 goals is a big deficit on a day like this.
Kane Corns is in and under. Thomas is there. And once again, it's a real stalemate. The start of this third quarter, we've played 5 minutes.
Matty, you can see Ben Griffiths there, copped a corky right above the right knee there. They've just got him to do a couple of run-throughs, a couple of squats. But on a day like today, you don't want a corky.
Gee, Edwards gave it back to Port Adelaide there, so can they get a score from it? Thomas couldn't get boot to ball. Martin tapped it out, picked up cleanly by Cotchin. That is the difference in the game at the moment.
He's so clean, that young player, isn't he? Those Cousins just keep giving him the ball.
Cousins' kick holds up in the breeze. First back, though, is Surgeon. Nahas over the top of him. Chaplin with the fend off. Back pedals. Got himself free nicely. Now he loaded onto the chest of Thomas. Now Port Adelaide have a player out wide. He's used. Westhoff off a step. It's just not his day, Westhoff.
Stephen Salopek, boys, miraculous recovery. He can hardly use his right wing, but he's actually out and running.
I wouldn't think he'll be coming back on all of a sudden. Not the way he's running, surely. Smith, you're not going to put him back on the ground.
Looks like a massive thermo skin he's got over that right shoulder too, Pickers.
Yeah. He's running up and down in front of you, Smith. You just keep an eye out because he didn't seem to be all that confident.
Port Adelaide pressing here. They've got another chance as we see Salopek warm up.
Got a very stiff wing, hasn't he, with all that taping? It's just how much he can use of that right shoulder.
Roden again, crumbing this time.
Well, the one thing is when you've had a lot of shoulder problems is you do know what you can and can't deal with.
Travis Boat knows he can find a teammate. It's Chad Corns. Doesn't have it. Crowd want a free kick. Diving in was Newman. And he goes back a second time. Holding the ball.
He did well there, Luke McGon, because Chad Corns, he tackled him, got in front position, OK, drops it, tackles him, but then lets go straight away. You can see he lets go straight away, doesn't carry on with it. That was very smart by him, not to give the free kick away, knew his limitations.
Well picked up, Jack, because the crowd were thinking that Corns was impeded, and he wasn't. He is off the ground, Gus.
Now, the funny thing was there, that bloke went to blow his whistle, Hayden Kennedy, but just as he was doing it, he hit the deck himself. You'll see him at the bottom of the screen there.
That's dangerous.
He really kicked his head clean off.
Too much to say, Port Adelaide. Jacob Surgeon's come over and given his the umpire spray, and he's telling him to clear away. I mean, I know they're frustrated, but they've got to get themselves, take their frustration out in work rate. Get in and get back into this game.
It's all played at one end of the ground at the moment. Broadbent's kick in deep. Farmer farms it out to Nason, and it's going to come back again, this time with Josh Carr. Swings onto his left. Kicks it up high, big pack forming. Crummer is Boak, tunnels his way through. Second attempt, going nowhere.
You see Salopek down. Let's get down to Smithy. Smithy, he's been trying to work to convince the doctors he's right to go, hasn't he, Steve Salopek?
Because all he's saying is, let me have a crack. And they've really tested it out. They were giving it a good wrench, etc. He's really keen to get back out there.
Trengove's kick forward, a chance of Port here. Chad Corns working hard. Ebert tunnels through his legs. Jake King tries to get it out. Here's a chance for Cassisi. Will it spill out to a Port player for a quick snap at goal? It's bouncing around. Slippery ball. Hard to get clear. Cotchin. Look at the pressure. And Newman watches it.
Well done to Richmond. I mean, they didn't panic under pressure there.
Kick in though. Gee, that went 10 metres at best.
Richmond to clear. That kick's going to hold up in the breeze. One-on-one. Carlisle experienced there. Nason went in. It falls now for Astbury.
He was clean.
He couldn't quite get the kick though. Nason followed up with a handball over the top. Port Adelaide are pressing everywhere. They are at the tackle now. Nahas, here's a chance. Westhoff's in the middle. He's spotted by Chaplin. Further afield is Corns. Corns in the centre of the ground. Inside 50 he goes. The spoil from Moore. It's a strong one.
They got numbers.
Newman to clean up to Delidio, and Richmond once again repel Port Adelaide.
Well, that's their 9th entry, Matty, for 2 behinds only. I mean, it's killing Port Adelaide that they're not being able to get any result for all the dominance they've had as far as getting it in there. But Richmond's defence, to their credit, really holding up.
Cassisi, the warrior, having a spell.
He looks a bit sore too.
Has he been in the forward line?
Well,
he's on the forward line,
he's been at the bottom of every pack.
Oh, he's tough.
Cassisi, he's trying his backside off.
Trengove wins the knock. The attitude is definitely lifted for Port, but they're not getting the result on the board as yet. Salopek is on the ground. He's in the contest.
This will kill him if they give him once for a goal.
Edwards' kick towards Nahas. He's up quickly, and that kick is going to go out on the... No, it's just in play from Surgeon. In the end, it was a clever one.
It would have been just better just to hold his body Nahas against Jacob Surgeon. He went for the bit of a nudge, didn't give the free kick away, but because of the nudge, he went in the ground.
This entry by the Tigers into their forward 50 against the run of play here. Surging again off the ground, this time straight into the breadbasket of Chaplin. Well worked by Carr. The kick. Well, luckily it falls for Boak. Thomas gets in his way. Boak went again. Chad Corns burrowing through. Beautiful pick-up by Thomas.
Well,
Salopek was on, but he goes longer into the pocket looking for Ebert. 2-on-1 situation, and they've run out of room.
we did say at the start of the game that early goals in these conditions are critical, and Richmond were the ones that jumped out of the blocks. And Port Adelaide now have got a lot of chasing to do to win this game. Still to kick 5 goals in a quarter and a half. Only managed 2 so far.
Roden was there, but he's beaten to it. Delidio standing in the tackle. Port Adelaide came back against the Demons last week brilliantly. Not 15. Play on the call. But they won't want to be 5 goals down at three-quarter time, Pickers.
No, they have got, well, they kicked 8 last week,
yep,
but completely different conditions. I've got no doubt by the end of this game, a slogging match last week, we've taken a fair bit out of Port.
Polak's kick didn't get clear. Tuck off the ground. That'll test the shoulder out, Stephen. Courageous move by Salopek. Out there again with that shoulder.
Geez, we'll test it from here.
Just got to get it up, and hopefully the breeze will give it a bit of momentum.
He's going to have to hit it at the left goal post here, the way the wind's swinging.
He's kicking with the breeze, and he's kicking from 50 to the square. Big punch from Polak. He wants the boundary line. So too Tuck.
Smart football, just clear the danger zone, double-fisted by Polak, and that's been the order of their play today, Richmond. They've just made good decisions in tight situations. When the contest's there, they've just played simple football, hard football, direct football, and consequently, that's why they're winning.
I think they've just been a bit harder, a bit cleaner. In a nutshell for...
Oh, well, it's mindset and attitude, but you still got to get, I guess, your structures and things right out there, and self-assessment is that kicking the ball long, not trying to, they haven't gone to ground too many times when they didn't, in crucial stages when they didn't have to go down the ground.
Who's been very good, Shane Tuck. Gee, 24 touches, 10 tackles. He's having a very good year, Shane Tuck. It took him a while to get in. Not sure what the reason was early days, but he's been a very consistent player.
His work in close has been superb.
Absolutely.
So many players around this ball, and Richmond are happy to just clog it up at this stage, although I'm not sure about that attempt for the kick from Martin.
Okay, we've played 13 and a half minutes in the quarter. Richmond yet to score. Port Adelaide to kick 2 points.
Well,
so
we're halfway through.
And you reckon 5 goals are going to be difficult to get?
Well, I think this second half of the third quarter, it decides the match.
Oh, absolutely.
Right here, right now, Port Adelaide have to make their run. They cannot leave it till the last quarter.
Matty, I think it's pretty much decided. They've weathered the storm here, Richmond, this first 10 minutes, and they've got control of the game. They're controlling the onslaught of Port's inside 50s. They've had over 10 inside 50s for only 2 points.
Cotchin didn't take that one. He rides his opponent into the ground. It's a free kick in the back. It's going to Logan.
This will be their 11th entry for the quarter to 1.
And Trent goes there.
Chance.
Got it.
He spilt it. He almost had it. But Roden is lurking. He's got some support. It spills back out to Boak. Smothered again. And once again, Richmond hold firm.
Let's have a look at this. It's very difficult to take marks today. It was a chest mark. You had 1 go at it, 2 goes at it. Oh, you'd nearly pay that. No, oh, you're hard taskmasters, you blokes. Just trying to get Port Adelaide some value for their efforts, for their 11 entries. It'll be 12 in a sec.
Here it comes. Boak got fist to ball. Now that's a hold. That's a Port Adelaide free kick against Nason.
That would have been a good advantage to have played.
Pearce decides Collins is the best option long.
Oh, great courage there.
Collins.
And that's, I mean, they've been overlapping for each other, because you called it in the second quarter. We saw it, Richmond players just peeling off and just doing the 1%ers, and that just got in the vision of Chad Corns and had to make him think that he's not going to have a clean run at it. And that's what these conditions, when you're called upon, you've got to go your turn. And Richmond, they've answered to every time they've been called upon.
Thomas, Cassisi, Pearce within range. Daniel Pearce needed the kick that. It's their third behind for the quarter.
The Tigers are just holding at the moment, holding. So all they're doing. Jeez, slack zone. It's a bit easy, that. That's going to be a good kick.
Well, he's called the play on. Pearce trying to corral more to the pocket. He's had to go inboard to Newman. A little bit of pressure there from Newman. We got clear. Riewoldt, the jump over the top. He's been cold. Now a chance for Port. Nash under the chest to Broadbent. Now Travis spoke. He didn't know it was meant for him. Cutting through Delidio. McGuan's in trouble. Delidio cool under pressure. Tough one for King to mark. They're fancy get out on Stewart, but he just played percentages.
Kept his head over it and just kept his work rate at the ball at the contest and killed the ball over the line. It's just smart play under pressure there. Newman just had to get the ball out. They've been very good on a lot of those chances that Port have been pressing. They've just been cool when it was counted.
See Kane Corns there gone to Cotchin. Cotchin's had it 20 times. Very good afternoon.
Again, Port Adelaide push forward. Standing in the way was Farmer.
Pick it up. Sorry, cake of soup.
It is. Webberley. Astbury. Tuck again. Nason off the ground. Clever kick.
That's a race.
No one home as yet.
But he's got a ground.
Kept his feet.
It's a
chance for Richmond. And it's a point.
Gee. Fantastic play by Cousins there.
Yeah, good show of speed there by the 32-year-old.
Yeah, my word.
Just kept at it.
Well, that's been, you've mentioned it a couple of times, Glenn, the fact that the Tigers have kept their feet in the contest.
Been very important in this type of game to play those simple percentages, but you've got to make allowances that you know your opponent's probably going to overcommit, and if they do, they're going to go to ground. You're going to still be the man standing with the possession of the ball, and I think they've just read the conditions a lot better than Port today.
Again, the sun just peeking through.
They're on here if they can get it to Ebert.
But Boak has just given it straight to Delidio, and that was a real opportunity missed. Chaplin, he kept his feet, did well.
He's gone back to Riewoldt after he kicked 3 goals. He's been a pretty good player, Troy Chaplin.
Farmer, quick gives a good one. That's clean footy from Tigers in the wet, but a wonderful smother from Carr. Here's a chance for Port. Ebert one-on-one with Moore.
Oh, look at us.
Throw it in. Port fans on their feet again. Not happy. Once again, another entry into the Port forward 50. And once again, it's repelled by the Tigers' defence in the form of Collins. Chaplin paddling towards the line. He's wrapped up beautifully. Nice tackle, Riewoldt.
Well, we've got 7 minutes left, Matty. You can just sense if Richmond go against the run of play here, it could be the knockout punch if they go the end of the ground and kick a goal. It could really deflate the confidence of Port Adelaide players and this crowd here.
Westhoff over the top.
This wet crowd too, Jacko. They've been sitting here all day. It's their 140th year, celebrating what a magnificent club Port Adelaide have been, the Magpies and Port Adelaide AFL club.
Got that in their jumper today. A little Magpie symbol in the corner.
And they haven't played like the Port Adelaide everyone comes to expect. And what the people that fight Port Adelaide demand, they haven't played like that today. The Tigers have.
Matty, no protest about the Magpie on the jumper anywhere?
Oh, there might have been just a small one earlier, but I think that's all water under the bridge, Jago. But Richmond again.
Just getting them on the spread here.
Wonderful defence. Salopek got in the way. A chance now for Broadbent. He's found himself in some space, and it was a clever handball to Nash.
It's an important kick, this
Nash,
one.
it's a beauty. Well, we are 20 minutes into the third quarter. This their best opportunity for just their third goal of the day.
Put a Hocking there, the runner. So, righto, mate, we need something here. He's trained off a bit there, Bud.
Oh, didn't he play well in these conditions?
Oh, he loved him. He's a brilliant player. Gee, they need this boy to kick this goal.
Daniel Stewart, back from North Adelaide last week. Just his second game. It's his second goal, and it's a big one. They're alive.
Well, important kick. We mentioned the forward inside 50. As you see, they win possession here. He just has to hit the target here. It was very, very important as they took possession. Gets it in the inside. That's a good kick. Split the Richmond defenders who are trying to zone off there. Maybe that's a recipe now for the remainder of this quarter when they go in. Don't go in there haphazardly and just boot it in there. Try and spread the Richmond defenders and hit a target.
Stewart kicked the goal, and the crowd find their voice once again. Back to a 21-point margin.
It's their first goal since deep in the first quarter.
Yep.
So they just get another one in a row here. They might start to panic on their old Richmond faces.
They've won a clearance. Carr's kick. Stewart's there again. Boak is coming. Boak arrives. Boot to ball. Westhoff thought about it. Wanted to go by himself and kick the point.
Okay, the Tiger fans at home.
You can hear the wind in the effects mics at ground level. It's still pushing hard.
You'll be sitting at home at the moment.
Next
thinking,
5, yeah.
Gee, we're worried. Well, they're kicking in the last quarter with, we reckon, a 4-goal win in normal conditions, probably a 6-goal win.
Jacko, any rain on the way?
At this stage, no, but I'll just go speak to my man outside and he'll let me know.
Because Port Adelaide want to keep it dry, or as dry as can be. Logan's kick is low. Cassisi is there again. Right with him, Edwards.
Well, Pig, it's 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Damien Hardwick tends to not want to put blokes behind the ball. They are desperate for their first win. Has he got to bite the bullet and just put a few blokes behind the ball?
I would. I'd be just trying to block it up now. This is the most dangerous 5 minutes of their game, because I reckon the last quarter they can hang on if they continue their effort. But you don't want to leak another goal or two here and give Port half a sniff, because they do finish games off well.
Carlisle was there. Chad Corns. He's given the free kick away, and here's the rain, Jacko.
Told you it's coming.
Look at the rain and wind down there. I just hope it's swirling into that dugout where Smithy's sitting.
Well, the Tigers won't mind this. They won't mind it at all. It's pretty heavy. It'll make goals hard to come by once again. Jake King, the clearing kick into the driving rain. Not free yet, Surgeon. Trengove off the ground. Surgeon bundles Edwards out of the way.
Good umpiring, really.
Yep.
Yeah, spot
That's
on.
exactly right.
Ran into him and played for the free. And this is not a time to be playing for free kicks. It's a time for body lining the ball. Just putting your head over it when you have to. You can see that wind coming in with the rain on the side. It's going Port Adelaide's way, but for all the entries and all the dominance they've had in this quarter, they've only kicked 1 goal. Gee, this kid's been strong.
Jeez.
Dustin Martin.
He doesn't mind to bust through, but his kick's out of bounds on the full. So Port with a chance. 20-point game. 4 minutes remaining for Port in this third term with the use of this breeze. Goes over the back, as we've seen a few times. Farmer caught by Westhoff. Ball up the back. Stewart. Big Daniel Stewart was there. It's inside forward 50s for this quarter. Just that it's been all at one end.
You know what it is, Matty? 18-2. 18 entries, Port Adelaide, for one goal. 1 goal 4, sorry. And Richmond had 2 entries for 1 behind.
Off the ground, Nash. Carr has the mark. And he moves it quickly. He throws it onto the boot. He went for the tumble, and it didn't pay off. But, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. Get it in quickly, put the defence under pressure. Pretty much everyone's in the Richmond 50 at the moment. Well, there's no one past centre-half forward for Richmond.
Boundary throw in. 30 metres out from the Port goal. Graham was there, punched forward by Trengove. Off the ground. Unfortunately for Port, there was a Richmond man and Farmer was there. And so, another behind.
Look at that. You can see where all the players are. Pretty much everyone in defence for Richmond. Tigers just have to hit the defensive side, which is where he's going, and get it as close to the boundary as possible, which is a good kick in that one.
And holds up.
And hope for the boundary line here.
Chad Corns.
That's a great result.
Yeah, there's a free kick afterwards.
Chad's frustrated. He's trying hard. They're all trying hard. The power, but they're just not getting any value for their entries.
Riewoldt. Again, it holds up in that breeze. Salter was there. Look at the numbers for Richmond at the back. Nason is running for Cousins. He gives it off to him.
And keep running, and now hit the spot here. I think it's Martin pushing forward.
He's pushed real well here, but the kick just couldn't get over to him.
It's Tuck, actually.
White is there with Stewart, and he holds it up. It's a win for the Tide.
It certainly is. It's important for him to keep it now. There's a couple of minutes left, and now if they get their setups right and try and win possession here, another kick to the goal square, and they may be able to pinch a goal at three-quarter time.
Punch forward by Graham. Who's going to be clean here? Nason wasn't.
Lucky not to give away a free kick there by Nash.
It's so slippery. There's Nash again.
He played for that.
Or was that Thomas?
He got a knock on the head first, and then he fell into his back. So the first one probably wasn't there if you have a look.
Not doubting the free kick, but the second one, but similar to that one with Surgeons, where the umpire clarified that he played for it.
Well, poor kick. Onto the chest of Delidio.
He's getting busy too. 21. This is 22nd touch, Delidio. A terrific season as well.
Oh, it's actually off the side, but it might work here. It falls for Nason. He had a man going past. He went back into traffic. He turned it around the corner, and Nahas almost fumbled what could be the most important mark of the day.
Once again, I mean, you look at, he should have probably given the handball to Cousins here, but opportunity, there it is, a forward playing in front in a dangerous zone, dangerous area, part of the forward 50, 25 metres out, and that's what Richmond have done all day for these three quarters, is had their forwards in opportunist positions playing in front.
He missed one at the start of the game, boys. Exact same position.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
He's kicking it in the mud. Find a bit of dry ground, son, and ram it home.
This is a big kick. Nahas hooks it left. It was a huge kick.
It would have been a killer for Mark Williams and his team, who have dominated the quarter for no result, really. If he had been able to sneak a goal with a minute and a half to go, you just couldn't see there was any way that Port Adelaide could win. I
agree totally. That was a kick that would have snuffed them out. Big, long kick in. Westhoff with a big jump.
Yeah, it's just like percentage, that stuff.
It's coming back towards Surgeon. Onto the chest of Logan. Port need a goal with a minute remaining in this third term. They're not going to get it there.
Over the back.
Chance for Nason.
Look at this.
He fell over, but he's there. He throws it on the boot, and he tumbles it through for the Tigers. A big goal again.
Oh, Port Adelaide, I'm sorry, but when you got Justin Westhoff trying to take the mark of the year, 3 deep in the wet game, it went straight back the other way. Now, that's not percentage stuff. I'm sorry, boys. On a day like this, quick kick back in, they win it over here, Tuck involved again, bang it forward, play the percentages. He was forward because of the kick in that had gone wrong, and goal Richmond, game over as far as I'm concerned. Unless Port can get some value for their effort, they're gone.
Ben Nason, the young man from Central District here in Adelaide, 2 goals this afternoon, and what an important that one is. What an important one that one is, I should say. That's English language, isn't it?
Really shut the gate here.
Oh, Westhoff to make amends.
Go one-handers now.
He's getting a bit of boxing from the crowd, but it was a terrific mark.
To the danger zone. Coming back, Riewoldt to help out. They got all the numbers back, Richmond.
Once again,
they know they're inside the last minute.
Once again, I'll just praise Richmond, their ability to work for each other. And this time, Riewoldt just coming over and lending support. Got a hand to it, kills the ball. Ball goes through for a point. They an opportunity to start again.
Kick to the outer side once again. 2 Port Adelaide players collide. King sliding in. So too Trengove. Martin. Chad Corns is there, Tandling, tackled by Cassisi. Cotchin throws it on the boot just to get some distance, get it away from the contest. Picked up now by Surgeon. Port have some numbers over the back. Chad Corns running past for him was Roden, but it's to no avail for the home team. They pressed continually in that quarter, but a late goal to Ben Nason against the run of the play has given the Tigers a 25-point lead at three-quarter time.
Coach,
Win the quarter.
Yeah, keep it pretty simple here, boys. The basics have got us a 5-goal lead.
Yeah.
Don't go away from that, and we should be able to take home the victory.
Crowd of just under 17,000 in trying conditions, and Boak wins the first clearance. King came through the spoil. Salopek, who's got an injured shoulder, went off the ground and missed it. Cousins somehow got it out to Farmer. First back was Salter. And there's Salopek. 15 minutes to put his shoulder back in.
Yeah, gutsy performance to come back on in these conditions. As I said, though, if you've had plenty of shoulder problems like he's had, he'd know exactly what pain he can deal with.
Port Adelaide start well. Boak's kick, or Boak gave it off to Chad Corns, who kicked it to his brother. Came to Chad, I should say.
Banging it along into a bit of space there. Just run onto it.
Corns is going to lay it up for Ebert. Well, he took a very heavy knock in the first quarter, was taken from the ground by a stretcher, and now he's got a tough kick with that breeze pushing it away from goal.
Well, the way the breeze is blowing, he's going to have to hit the right post. As I'd be aiming just on the right post, because the natural breeze will push it a little bit, but you don't want to give away too much of the goals. So I'd hit hard at that right post. Should get a little bit of work going the other way, you'd think.
I think you need to punch it low and hard here.
They kicked 8 goals in the last quarter last week against Melbourne. There's the breeze pushing it across. Just the behind. Port Adelaide's lowest score is 32 points, ironically against Richmond back in 1999.
Similar conditions that day?
I'm pretty sure it was. Liam, I think... I don't have a clue. But it was 32-30, so I think we could bank on it.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably more than likely. That was a winning score.
It was a winning score.
32.
They push forward again, Port. Westhoff can't get free of McGuan, but he somehow
did really
got it to Salopek.
Test your shoulder out.
Oh, yeah.
That wing.
Because one player Port Adelaide have got to get into the game is Daniel Pearce. He's actually playing in a back pocket at the moment on Richard Tambling. Why wouldn't you just put him up in the forward line, one out, just try and let him run onto the ball?
The problem is, Smithy, they've used him forward today and in the midfield, and he's really struggled. He's only had 10 touches for the game. But I agree with you, you've got to win this game now. There's no point having him behind the ball. And he may be sending him a message that his work rate's not quite up. It's pretty quiet last week too. He did a couple of things late, not bad, but... And look, their forward line has been restructured, we know that. They're probably missing 3 or 4 of their starting 6. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got to find ways to kick goals. Richmond on the bottom of the ladder, they haven't won a game since August 09. So you come here expecting to win if you want to play finals, but they've been outplayed, they've been out-hunted. Now the Tigers have just wanted it more, from my perspective, watching it.
Collins off the ground, gets a fair bit of distance with it.
It's Riewoldt again to the back heel.
Riewoldt put the hands away for the
JR8,
afternoon.
isn't it? JR8.
JR8's put the hands away for the afternoon. It's all off the ground from here on in.
He's kicked a great goal off the ground. He's getting right into World Cup mode, isn't he?
Yep. From the throw-in, Gray makes front position, but it spills over the back to Cousins. So slippery, that ball, in this congested area.
Okay, we talked about Jack Riewoldt. He's been a little bit clever all day. Here he goes again. Well, that's about the 5th time I reckon he's done that this afternoon. But he's been a good player.
Well, that's why we're not criticising him, because he's been a major contributor, set the win up early, kicked that freakish goal.
Well, since Chaplin's gone to him, he's been taken out of the game a bit, but...
And you'd expect that because of the conditions, but he had his opportunities and he made the most of them. He's kicked 3 goals. If you had told him before the game he was going to have that many shots on goal, he would have taken it.
Well, let's put it in perspective here. He's kicked 3. Port Adelaide have kicked 3 as a team.
That's it. And then Port Adelaide again go forward. Boak. The good thing for Port here is that they've got the play in their half of the field again. They're going against the breeze, but they're still pressing.
Richmond look like winning a game. At the moment, they've had 33 entries for the match.
Gee.
As opposed to Port Adelaide's had 46 entries, and they trail by 4 goals.
Here's Tuck.
It's possession 28.
Martin couldn't get free. The longer the game goes on, the more happy Tiger fans will be in the fact that they're quite happy to just clog it up.
Arm wrestle it out for 16 and a half minutes.
They're quite happy to do that. Cotchin and Delidio, 2 of the stars for the Tigers. White to Cousins, and the veteran gives it back to White, who stops and turns and kicks it out wide. No one home for Richmond. Chaplin going back. Riewoldt. Well, he uses the hands here.
He did that well.
He uses them beautifully to Tambling. Tambling from 40 metres out across the face. And Nahas gets it. Marks, plays on. It's touched off the boot. It's a behind. Well, the idea was right.
Absolutely. Look at that centre corridor there, just a mud. In a long time since we've seen an AFL ground look like that.
Kick in falls short.
They continue to kick to the attacking side of the ground, Port Adelaide. I don't quite get it.
Pierce! Wonderful tackle by Tambling. Off the ground, Riewoldt.
You're asking the question, why wasn't it paid? Because I don't think he got correct. Have a look at Jack Riewoldt here. Didn't overcommit. This is what they've done. Pushed him in the side, kept the ball alive. Both of the Port Adelaide players went to the ground.
Yeah.
He didn't. That's been the difference.
Spot on, Jacko. Thomas with the kick. Graham in front. Port with some numbers there, though.
Listen to that wind in the effects mine. Blowing a gale here. It's an extra 2 kicks to get it down there at the moment. Yeah. I mean, it's a really, really blustery day here in Adelaide.
Got the Sturt flag. The double blues. Kane Corns to clear it. And picked up nicely by Stewart. It's Paul Stewart onto the chest of Chad Corns.
Tried to draw the 50 there. He needs to look across.
Yeah.
He's got Carlo, I think he's pushing forward.
I reckon he's unlucky there, Chad Corns. Only get the 50.
Ball's in the paint there.
Well, they're trying to be cute there. I mean, the difference between the two sides is, I mean, he's not happy with his teammates down the ground, but I don't know why he wouldn't be.
Fairness, he was
just kick the ball long. What Richmond have done all day, just back your forwards. They got small crumbing forwards down there. They've got Ebert, they've got Roden.
Fairness, he was covered in blue dye.
And technically, he did get his jumper grabbed after.
Yeah, he did. It should have been a 50-metre penalty.
Quick kick, Weberly. Riewoldt trying to help it on its way. Pierce did that. Collins dropped it. Spilling out. Weberly. It's high ball. Quick kick needed. It was Astbury that time. Nason slides in and Nash is with him. Cassisi can't get past Astbury. Nason hands over the top. But standing in the way was Broadbent, but he fumbled. And it's out.
That stop playing for the
it's a 3rd time he said that, the umpire, and it's been all directed to Port Adelaide players.
Yeah. They've been second on the ball most of the day. Coaching staff looking a bit perplexed at the moment. A few furrowed brows, Matthew.
Yeah, it's not a happy box, was it?
No.
A look of resignation as to what's about to transpire in about 20 minutes.
We just can't see how they can possibly win this game.
Corns is trying very hard, though.
Just kick it to space here and just get some runners onto it. Ebert's running forward.
Oh, he's just going to say, have a chance, but more red at best. Newman spots a couple of players in the middle.
Got to switch out on the outer side. If you can get it to him, it's White.
Martin realises it's on, but he's put too much on the kick.
Just too much.
Pierce did the right thing and left his man. Now, who's going to keep their feet?
Wow.
Oh, he did well, Daniel Pierce. Got up quickly. What can Port do on the counter-attack? Turn it over.
The handball is just not the way to go.
Look at that commitment. Look at that commitment.
And there's the rain again.
Been very good. Well done, Shane Edwards. Just put your head over it, won yourself a free kick. When there was a 50-50 contest on that outer wing.
The bodywork from Riewoldt didn't take it. Nason's kicked a couple. Nahas lurking. Courage there from Surgeon. Oh, there's Carlisle, there's Surgeon. And that is heavy rain.
Good centre here.
Tambling put it over towards Polak. Couldn't take it. Getting through Astbury. Nason wanted a free kick.
I reckon overall they've umpired really well today, the umpires. They
haven't been sucked into it a couple of times.
A lot of blokes throwing themselves forward, and they pretty much said from the word go, you're going to have to earn your kicks today, boys. We're playing the blatant ones, and that's about it. I reckon that's a good way to do it.
Tambling slung out of that contest, but it might be okay. Gee, the boot was there, and it didn't quite come off. .56 plays 29.
Some tired boys tonight. We know that Richmond in the third quarter defended to the other side of the ground, City side of the ground, whereas Port Adelaide, because they need to win,
they need to kick goals.
They have to get it out to the attacking side, which really should suit Richmond, even though there was 1,000 numbers out there.
And that was probably always going to be the result. So the boundary throw-in on the apex of the 50. Polak trying to force it forward. Sort of got his kick away. Only as far as Cousins, who's off and going and kicking long.
Boot went about 25.
It's over the back. Cousins on one boot. Nason on two. Gives it back. A chance for the Tigers. And across the face, the kick.
You're going to have a nice, wet, soggy foot. Ben Cousins. Have a look at this. The ball goes 40. The boot goes 30. Look where the boot went.
Shades of... No, I was going to say something silly.
Imagine how sloppy his foot would be at the moment.
Oh, you'd hate that, wouldn't you?
End up with gout.
I'm not sure about that, Liam.
Oh, poor kick.
Chance for the Tigers. Martin picks it up, sends it back to the goal square. And this time Nahas plays on. And this time he kicks the goal. And the Tigers can celebrate.
Once again, it was a poor kick by Port Adelaide on the few occasions where they've come out onto this commentary wing. They've just, poor decision, look, play on. Try to pick a short pass here. Wasn't on. The difference between the two sides when they've done that, Richmond in the third quarter, you saw him play that defensive wing, kick the ball long. And unmanned forwards find themselves with nobody on them and an opportunity. Good goal.
Second goal to Robin Nahas. He was very good in the first quarter, got them going. And he joins Nason with 2, and Riewoldt was 3. And it's been a cold, dark, dingy afternoon for some of those Port Adelaide supporters.
Yeah, off home now. Off home. Off you go. And go and put a cup of tea on. Don't ever watch the replay of this match. That's what they'll be thinking. We've been beaten by a side that hasn't won a game all year. Because realistically...
But Choco Williams would have prepared him for him. He would have said, look, we're playing a side that's been in relatively good form in the last month, bar the Geelong game. They've been in a contest. And they knew whether the conditions that the contest was going to present wet weather football here today. And they've just been outworked, they've been outsmarted, outplayed by a side that's just been a bit more desperate. They're not talented, more talented than Port Adelaide, but they've been a lot more desperate.
They sure have.
Look at the numbers here. I mean, they've got players on the out here. No one manning them up.
Astbury, the kick might go over the back towards Riewoldt, but it doesn't. Nahas.
Just enjoy coming over Adelaide. Nahas.
Oh, he loves it.
Very good last year, and he's been terrific again today. Really should have 4. And he's 2 goals from 30 metres out.
And he's had 1 touched.
And 1 touch, that's right.
Oh, well trapped. Off a step, tuck. Sends it back towards Riewoldt.
Well, they've played in unbelievable conditions.
Goal of the year contender for Jack, you reckon?
Well,
under the conditions?
Under the conditions, it was a beauty off the ground.
Very good goal.
Goal
You go from 34 and 70% humidity in Darwin to this. Look at the ground.
Off the ground goes Salter, but here it comes. Moore. Hard one to mark. Floats in. Over the back. Here he is again. Oh, he ran around it. He hatched it like an egg.
He spent it before he got it. He got all nice and nervous.
On the ball, Nahas.
Here are his numbers this afternoon. He's only had it 8 times. He's had 8 kicks, but he's kicked 2 goals, 3.
Yeah.
So
Been busy, been threatening.
It's also been his forward pressure, 2 pickers.
Yep.
good tackles.
Good call there, Ryan.
They've lifted him with 6 tackles, but they were only tackles that stuck, not the other stuff, the chases and the pressure he's been able to exert, along with Tamling and these type of players today. Defensively have been very good. Tuck's had 12 tackles. Collins has had 12 tackles. I think it's Graham's been credited with 13 tackles.
He's tackling himself.
I have to admit, I can't remember.
He's tackling himself, Liam.
Tackled him 13 times, but
oh, he's worked hard. They all have, the Tigers. They're not done with yet. They want another goal here. Riewoldt again off the ground. Well, it might just spill out here. White thinks it will. And he got out a very clever handball to the tackling machine. Graham to the square. Oh, Nason almost. Miraculous. Quick kick in by Port to Surgeon. Floats it forward. All Tigers, though. King, handball back inboard to Farmer. A little bit of dry ball there from Martin. High, Nason and Nahas.
This is the sort of stuff he's been good at all day, Nahas.
It's amazing he had a bigger body there, and he just absorbed the contest, but his direct opponent went to ground. He didn't. And we've mentioned it a few times today, but it was Nick Slater on that occasion went to ground. And that kept the ball opportunities alive for themselves in the forward line, Richmond. A very good aspect of their game today.
Coming through was Collins. Tuck, Cassisi smothered it before he could get boot to ball. Martin out towards Cousins.
Cousins has worked hard this afternoon. Jacko, I know.
I reckon it's been his best game for the year. It's been a smart game, 18 possessions, set up a couple of nice goals, and he's a player that's got the football smarts, and he's just positioned himself well in a tough day.
Well, Riewoldt signals, kick it long to me. I'll kick it out of the air or off the ground or something.
He's going to do something. He's just trying to soccer it. Look at it.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do a bicycle kick in midair there. Comes back to Broadbent. He heads for the boundary or for Westhoff, who wins a free. Now he's got to move it. And down the line he goes. Leap over the back. Came from Thomas. Cotchin read it. Couldn't get far with the kick, though. Cassisi by hand. On the up, Thomas. Carr with the advantage off the left boot. Now he's just going to head for the boundary line.
A smart play there. Good play there by Kelvin Moore, just allowing that ball to go out.
Hardwick down at ground level.
Pretty brave coach down there in his first year. This would have been one of those games where you just sit up in the box, surely.
Well,
send one of the assistants down there to face the breeze.
He can feel it. They're 35 points up. Thomas is trying to make it 29. But he's got the point.
What's their lowest score, Port Adelaide again?
32.
Well, 30. They're working their way up in points at the moment, Matthew. We could be seeing a record, unfortunate record for Port Adelaide here.
Well, they kicked 3-12, and that was the score that Richmond got.
How would the Tiger fans be at home? There'd be probably times this year where they thought they're not going to win a game, but...
Well, I think when they were 3 points, the close loss to Hawthorn, but again, they almost won in the last quarter. I think that would have been a turning point for a lot of fans thinking, no, it's not far off.
And they've been building from performance like that. The week before, they were here against Adelaide. They were up at three-quarter time by 5 points, ran out a bit of steam, and the class of Adelaide got them and blew that game out a little bit. But, I mean, this performance has been brewing over the last month, as I mentioned before, apart from that game down at Skilled Stadium.
I bumped into Damien Hardwick midweek, just in a little cafe in Melbourne, and
That's your job, is it? Just,
You're having a meeting? We're having a meeting with Gary Ablett there?
I was having a meeting with one of my players, and he was there with his wife. And
G. Ablett?
And I did say, how's it all going? He said, look, he just thought that they were building something, that their effort had been there. So he was quite positive, and he'd be very happy with today and the way they've gone about it, his team, because from the word go, they've brought that real competitive mindset. As I say, they're the first team on the ground. They hit the deck quick. They got straight into it from the word go, and they thoroughly deserve this win.
Do you meet with all your players in public like that? You usually do it in an office or somewhere.
Well,
you want everyone to see meetings with players in the public forum?
Just going for lunch with one of the young fellas, Glenn, just to give him a little bit of encouragement.
Gary Ablett's 25, isn't he?
Right, move on. Move on.
We do that as Edwards goes off the ground. That's a very clean take from Cousins, but he just lost his footing.
He couldn't get it through his legs.
Yeah. Moore's been very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I think the whole backline's been great. Delidio's been sensational when he's been back there. Moore's been great. McGuan, we saw that contest from McGuan when he was hurting, you know, and the one he knocked Ebert out with, basically, was just a great contest. He was sore, he was hurting, but went to make a 2-on-1. And that's the sort of stuff, I reckon, for a young coach, you'll be thinking, well, there's the encouraging signs. This is what's going to sort of make us, as a football club, is the little things that you need to do. And I reckon that's been on show today from all his players. His leaders have led really well today. If you look at the major 4 possession winners, Tuck, Delidio, Newman, Cotchin. Well, I mean, that sort of sums it up, I guess.
Gee, that's not a good kick off the side of the boot, and it's a chance for Cousins. He kicks it off the ground.
Don't go to ground.
Don't go to ground. Tamling's got him out the back. Salopek again testing out that shoulder. Back to Tamling. Bounces off of him. Chaplin to clear. And he does. Westhoff, though. Let it go. Polak. It's inside the forward 50. And Cassisi wanted the boundary.
He's
one all day. And now the captain.
And he just brought Adelaide. That's unlucky. Poor old Don Cassisi's tried hard all day. Just hasn't had a lot of support, unfortunately.
Kick to the top of the square. Stewart the spoil. Westhoff. Hand over the top. Salter went without it. Nason comes in. And as you can see in the background, it's a rarity what we see at Amy Stadium. Mud.
Yeah, mud, all right. It was an unbelievable shower.
Shower?
Yeah, well, I call it a shower. Jacko's the weatherman. What do you call it, Jacko? Downpour?
Downpour.
Pre-game. Poor under-18 kids. They were out there for their first game of the carnival.
I saw small kittens and puppies dropping out of the sky.
They had their game brought along. All the recruiting managers were ticking off all these names, these great kids from South Australia and Western Australia, and I don't think they could see them in the second half.
No. There's a big kick forward by Delidio. Nason. And the combination of Nahas and Nason has been very dangerous.
He's had a very good year, this young fella. Had his hair pulled one day by Sammy Mitchell, but
he's hurt his hamstring.
Yeah, he's just grabbing it. Maybe when he launched himself, or cramp.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be a cramp. But geez, his work rate. I watched him against Hawthorn from ground level, a la Rowan Smith, and I watched him work. His work rate is terrific, this young fella.
This for goal number 3. Oh, and isn't it just lovely? Not many Tiger fans here, but they are delighted.
He knocked off work. He thought, nah, no way I'm working in this rain, that fella. I'm putting my Tiger beanie on.
But look, him by himself here. I mean, Port Adelaide just got unorganised there from not being able to man up their direct opponent. Now, whether they're playing to the siren or the game's over, you still got to play the percentages and play to your direct opponent. And as he comes up for a well-enjoyed rest, he's kicked the goal, he's kicked 3. He's been a very good contributor for his team.
Well, he has a deserved rest, Ben Nason. 3 goals, he's helped out a couple, and he's got his team out to a 40-point lead, if you don't mind.
Thoroughly deserved. 25 scoring shots to 15. Tuck again out of the middle.
Matt White has kept his feet all day.
From the very first bounce, he was the one that got him going.
Chance for Tambling.
There's another chance. He's done it. He's done it.
It's Riewoldt. Party time!
turn around nobody.
Well,
and just went whack.
We see this ball come in, and we're talking about not going to ground. This is the first penalty. Went to ground. All the Richmond players stayed up.
Just watch this blind turn. Oh, he did it well. Did it really well. Well, he started them off. Matty White was involved in the first quarter. Riewoldt started them off. It's too good for Carlisle in the first quarter and a half. And he's finished them off with 4.
4 goals for Jack Riewoldt. JR8, as Jacko calls him. But that's just, he's going to celebrate tonight. He'd be very happy with that. 46 points. This is just a terrific finish by the Tigers.
The disappointing thing for Port Adelaide, they've kicked 1 goal after half-time. They had 20 inside 50s in the third quarter for very little result. Now, we mentioned before that they were depleted without Trent Schultz. We know Devonport great, and obviously the suspension on Motlop.
Tuck, a very good give on the up to Delidio. Again, the Tigers go forward. They're not done with yet. To mark to Carlisle as Choco Williams
Sums it up.
Yep.
He's just doing a bit of whistling there, thinking, what can I do here with my boys? Can't do anything in this game. He's got to try and get them to bounce up, bounce back for next week. That's the thing.
Next week, Hawthorn at the MCG.
Well, Hawthorn seem to be rejuvenated. If they can beat the Sydney Swans tomorrow,
It'll be 3 in a row for them.
And the Tigers on the big stage of Friday night footy against the Saints.
He's played on there.
There's Damien Hardwick. Inside, he'd be just jumping for joy. Outside, externally, he's just playing a straight bat. He knows his team's home. Smithy's going to get to him. I'm sure we'll get a word with him after the game, won't we?
How have you seen this game from Big Angus?
I think he's been very good. He's only had the 7 touches, but according to my stats, 14 tackles.
He's been
competitive.
Exactly. Delidio with a little toe poke towards or going forward. Another good take. This time it's Tambling. And he's going to hit it long and hope it goes out and they can reset. (10-16 to 3-12). Port Adelaide on the verge of their lowest score. Two minutes remaining in the game. Martin.
Been good as well.
He's very good at the contest.
So is Cotchin.
Cotchin throws it forward. Nahas with a hand in. Astbury is there, so too Carlisle. We'll have a ball up.
Look at that mud.
Yep.
Nice. Who's dived on it? I think both of them have dived on it.
Free kick to Richmond. Nahas is going to go for his
this
fourth.
is amazing.
No, he's third, sorry.
He's going to join Nason with 3 if he can get this through. And as you mentioned before, Liam, he probably should have 4. The Richmond chant goes up here at Amy.
He's going to give a handball off to somebody. He was going to.
Robin Nahas.
These are the ones he's missed today, the set shots. Exactly like that.
To the square, and it didn't make the distance in the end. There's a couple of Tiger fans. Been a long time coming, and they've had to endure quite a bit.
It's good work.
But not this afternoon. It's coming back.
No advantage.
They've got a minute to go, and wouldn't they love just one more for the final nail in the coffin?
Yeah, an absolute belting. That's what it is in the end.
Edwards spots someone. Off hands. White is there, and happy to see it balled up again.
These are the sort of games where you can get a couple of late ones when the team is shot that you're playing against. They're very happy. Big Angus Graham, been in the gym for 2 years. He started off with Spud Fuller, so arms like pieces of linguine, and now he's the size of Glenn Jakovic.
He's got a couple of big cannellonis there.
Linguine.
I have to credit Spud for that every time I say it, but I do like that saying.
Kane Corns wins the free kick.
Well, they've 2 young ruckmen today because no Brogan pre-game. He pulled out with back spasms. Trengrove's tried to do it all himself. And Angus Graham's, I think, done a pretty good job.
Pitched by Cotchin. Clever kick, though. A bit too far on it.
You're just exaggerating about now. His arms are as big as mine, aren't you?
Yeah, well, he's a very big man now, Big Angus. Been eating weights for 2 years.
It's the Big Angus burger.
47 points. What a win.
Yes, it's a big win. and they will enjoy it. They'll be tired, cold and wet, but as happy as they can be. Deledio for one more.
Mark.
Forward press.
There it is.
Nahas. Handball out the side. The siren sounds, and after 13 straight losses, the Tigers are no longer toothless. Their first win for 2010, and what an absolute terrific win it has been. A 47-point margin. Damien Hardwick can settle down and just enjoy the moment.
Well, he can indeed. What a fantastic win for the Tigers. They came over here full of belief, set their win up in the first quarter, really. They just went hard at the footy. They were kicking into the wind. And what a wonderful performance. Riewoldt was a star again with 4 goals.
Oh, they had a lot of stars, Liam, and it was just good old-fashioned football. I mean, for all the Richmond supporters you mentioned that were back in Melbourne watching this game, they'd be proud of just the way they went about it. They probably would say they saw this win brewing over the last month, but well done, full credit to them. Disappointing for Port Adelaide, only 1 goal after half-time, but the example was set by the Richmond players.